Yo, 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 what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel on this very special, extra special weekend. It's Terrifier 3 weekend, baby! Let's go! I'm so excited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today, as you might have been able to tell from the title, we're going to be talking about Terrifier 3, still with no spoilers yet. But if you're like, oh, Jake, I want to talk spoilers. I want to get right into this movie. I've already seen it. Or maybe you haven't. We will be talking spoilers on Monday. So Monday night at 7 o'clock, spoilers will be going across these streams. So if you won't be able to see it by Monday, you might want to miss out on that stream. But for everyone who has seen it, stop on by Monday. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk spoilers for this bad boy. But yeah, be warned. Spoilers next Monday. But here, nothing. No, we're not spoiling shit yet. So still, one more stream with the whole no spoiling Terrifier 3 rules that are being applied. So please don't do that in the chat, and I won't either. I won't spoil it for you either. So let's get into this. Let's talk a little bit about it. I'm curious what you guys have to say, what you guys are thinking about all this. There's a lot to talk about even if you haven't seen the flick yet. We just found out that this movie is going to make more money than Joker 2 this weekend, which is completely insane, like completely unprecedented. No idea that was even going to happen. So there's a lot of things to be excited for if you're a Terrifier fan. Let's just get right into it, man. Let's run it. Let's see what else. Let's see what everyone has to say about this bad boy. I'm curious. And also, again, you know, my review is out if you want a more like concise version of what my thoughts are looking like. I just posted it. Not what, 4 hours ago? I want to say 3-4 hours ago. So go give that a watch after this stream if you want to get some more detailed, more like analytical deep dive into it kind of thing. So there we go. Let's say hi to everybody though. How we doing? EastVR is saying, hey Jake, if you didn't read my Twitter message, the power went out in the first 2 minutes of the film, but I did see it 2 hours later. I still like Terrifier 2 better, but I loved this film. I'm with you, Easty. I loved this film. It was great. It was a really good time. Some brutal kills, some extremely fun, iconic Art the Clown moments, but I think I still like Terrifier 2 more. That is... I was pretty confident in that even leaving the theater. I'm like, this is so much fun. Had a great experience with this one, but I don't know if anything... I think what I realized is I don't know if anything's ever going to top Terrifier 2 for me. Like, I just loved that movie so much. It's so perfect down to every little minute detail. Terrifier 3 does improve in some areas on a lot of different things, but there's just something about Terrifier 2 that I think I like a little more. But personally, I loved this film a lot. I wouldn't call it a step down or anything like that. I just think that there's something about the way that this one flows that I feel like just isn't the same as the last movie. Like, I think it has the opposite problem of Terrifier 2. I think Terrifier 3 is too short. I think this one would have benefited from another 20 minutes. That would have been awesome. And we've actually heard that a lot got left on the cutting room floor, so I would love to see a director's cut. I think a director's cut would smooth out pretty much every little tiny issue I had with this one, because pretty much across the board, all the things I wasn't crazy about with this one ended up being small things. Like, not a deal breaker by any means. I still give it like a 9 out of 10. Really solid flick, so much fun. Could not recommend seeing this one in the theater enough for sure. Mateo, what's up, dog? How you doing? Hi, Jake. Love your content. Big fan. Saying hi from Peru. Hello, Peru. Here I have to wait till October 31st to see the movie. I'm so sorry about that. But at least you get to see it on Halloween. It's going to be a little weird to see a Christmas slasher on Halloween, but I guarantee you will have a fun time with this one. Oh my God. I'm dying to go back to the theater to see this one again. Dying, my dude. So you will have a lot of fun. And again, spoiler warnings before every video I do talking about this one, because trust me, there's more Terrifier stuff to be put out on the page. I got a whole Terrifier 4 video in the works right now that I'm working on. And I will put spoiler warnings before any time I talk about especially the ending of Terrifier 3 and what's being set up for what's to come. But IDK is saying, Jake, I'm going to be late to this one. I'm watching a film with my mom. Well, that's so sweet. That's so wholesome and wonderful, IDK. I love that. I hope it's a horror movie, but I love that I love that you're spending some time with your family. That's great. How can anyone be mad about that? That's wonderful to hear. Villain Killing Dylan is saying, mark my words, Art will pee in Santa's lap. That's kind of a spoiler, dog, but it's not the biggest spoiler. So I'll let that one slide. But no please no spoilers in the chat. Don't be spoiling nothing about this movie. But I do think that is funny. On air, in studio, live, and refreshing with Scotty. What a title, Scotty. I love it. Good evening, everyone. Wonderful to see you all here. It's wonderful to see you here, Scotty. On the air, live, and refreshing. You're very refreshing, Scotty. Thanks for being here, my dude. RJ Skorenki is saying this movie was nuts, like peanut butter Reese's pumpkins nuts. Now that's fucking nuts, dog. I always love to say this is nuts like crunchy peanut butter, but that's even better. Those are the best ones, by the way, the pumpkin shapes. There's something about the shapes, man. They just do it for me. So it's the same thing with mac and cheese, too. You get the character shapes, it's just better. I can't explain it, but I think they put drugs in the character mac and cheese. The SpongeBob mac and cheese, dude, there's something in that. You can't tell me otherwise, man. It's just better. I love it, though. Taylor saw some edits is saying, what's up, my man? Dude, just still hyped up about Terrifier 3. I have not come down from the high that I have had walking out of that theater on Thursday. Wow. Like, but I'm really blown away by this one. Again, you know, I don't know if it was like as solid as Terrifier 2, but Terrifier 3, still such a fucking banger. Easily one of the best horror flicks from 2024, without a doubt. What's up? How you doing? I didn't know you were still here.
Yeah, she's just picking me up.
Oh, she's gonna pick you up? Okay.
She's outside right now.
Madison's gonna be a rebel this evening. Go out and drink alcohol. Yeah, you're gonna get some slaps on the wrists for that, I think. I love you. Be safe, okay? But yes, very funny stuff all around. You're going to see Terrifier 3 in 30 minutes. No way! Oh my god, I'm so excited for you, Mike S. Or Mikes. I see two people in that profile picture. Maybe this is two Mikes I'm talking to. No, I'm just kidding. Mike, have so much fun. I hope you enjoy the flick. It's a blast from start to finish, my guy. So have such a good time with this. Does that make my forehead look gigantic? I think it does. There we go. Rock on. It's good enough. That horror dude, what's good, y'all? Everything's good. Terrifier 3 is good. A lot of the most recent movies I've seen are I've seen some bangers recently, dude. Because Jason Patric was in it. I watched My Sister's Keeper. Really good movie. Like, it's a drama, but really good movie. Oh my god, I fucking cried. It was fantastic. I watched that. I watched Terrifier 3. I'm trying to think what else I watched recently. The first Terrifier. I just got All Hallows Eve on DVD because I meant to watch that one again. Where the hell? I just put that down. Here it is. Yeah, I just picked up this bad boy because I really need to watch this again, especially after Terrifier 3. But lots of good stuff, man. Lots of good stuff, horror dude. Ryan Swayze saying, hey, Jake. Hey, Ryan, how are you? I love your last name. It's just like Patrick. Good stuff there. A Saturday live? What? I know, Erica, it's crazy. I was going to go live yesterday, but I figured, you know, most people are probably going to be seeing the movie Thursday or Friday night, so I'll catch all the people who got to see that tonight, and then we'll get into some spoilers on Monday for everybody else. It's perfect, I think. Fingers crossed. We'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But hopefully I'm able to talk to as many people as humanly possible. That's the goal with this page, as you guys know. Austin Daniels is saying, hey, Jake, gonna be hard not to talk spoilers. I really dug this film. It could have used another 10-15 minutes, though. That seems to be the majority consensus. I was looking through the comments on my review, and I think most people would agree who got to see it. This one would have benefited from having a little more length. And it's not because, like, we wanted more blood and gore and stuff. Like, of course we want that, you know? But I think the story would have... honestly, the story just lent itself to a longer movie. I think there's parts of Terrifier 2 where it's tough for me to disagree with this, where it does feel like it's starting to slow down a little bit, and we're starting to just stretch some things. But in this movie, I definitely needed another 10, 15, maybe even 20 minutes of sequences. There's a lot of stuff that I feel like could have used expansion, and there's an entire scene that is so crucial to the film that should have been on screen, and it is like, it actually hurts. It pains me a little bit that we didn't get to see that happen. I'm upset. That's the one thing. That's the reason I give it a 9 out of 10. Like, I'm pretty forgiving about most of this, but man, like, it got knocked down a point because we didn't show this on screen. I'm just like, dude, what? Like, why would you do that off screen? That's crazy to me. But everything else about the film, no complaints. It's so much fun. Again, I think that they did do some things better than Terrifier 2. The cinematography is gorgeous. The performances across the board are spectacular. Just as well done as any typical Hollywood horror movie typically. Really good stuff. Good stuff across the board here, man. We got our first super chat. What's up, man? How you doing? Ty Lee's coming in here with $5. Appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the page. Saying, if Terrifier 4 can stick the landing, I will appreciate T3 more and forgive its lack of plot development, in my opinion. You know, Ty, that's completely fair. I even said in my review that I do have some nitpicks about this film, but I wasn't going to get so deep into those judgmental vibes, because I do feel like these are some strings that, you know, Damien is just setting up to fulfill in the next movie, right? That's what he did with Terrifier 2. That's what I think he's going to do with Terrifier 3. Sorry. That's what he did with Terrifier 2 to 3. That's what I think Terrifier 3 is going to do to Terrifier 4. Does that make sense? I think that's exactly what's happening here. We're just setting some things up that are going to come back for Terrifier 4 to be bigger elements. Just like how this dad, you know, Sienna's dad was this super mysterious figure that we knew a little bit about by the time Terrifier 2 ended, but not enough to really make sense of why that was all there. There's some things in Terrifier, even I would say there's even more things in Terrifier 3 where I'm just like, why was this here? You know what I mean? Why do we do this? Why do we do that? This, that, whatever. There's a lot of decisions that are questionable, but I think it's because it's coming back for Terrifier 4. So I feel like this is a gap film. You know, this is a film to get us from point A to the next point, if that makes sense. And I think the next movie is going to be very much so deep into even deeper into that plot, balls deep, one might say. So I totally understand that, my friend. But again, I'm giving the Terrifier team the benefit of the doubt here, because I think more is very much so to come. That's why Damien said at the what is it, Fantastic Fest screening, that Terrifier 4 is happening. Like, don't worry, it's coming. You know, that's why we made certain decisions in this one. And I think, again, we're just expanding upon that cryptic storytelling element from Terrifier 2 that Terrifier 3 does even harder. And I think some folks are going to walk away from this one a little disappointed for that reason. But I'll tell you what, when Terrifier 4 comes out, it's gonna smooth over a lot of those problems. I like Terrifier 2 even more now after seeing Terrifier 3. Let's put it that way. So hold out for Terrifier 4, right? Like, and you seem to already be in that mindset, Ty. I'm telling you, a lot of the issues with this movie, I feel like, are gonna get smoothed out after we see Terrifier 4. Damien's got a plan here. He's got some kind of crazy, weird network written in at his home somewhere, I'm sure, with all these lines connecting to places. It's fucking insanity for sure, but it's gonna work out. I think it's all gonna smooth over soon here. Dude, thank you so much for the $5. I really do appreciate the support of the page. Who else do we got hanging out in the chat with us? We got Kyle Scumberg saying, Jake, I saw Terrifier 3 2 times. Nice. And the second time was better. Saw a lot more I missed. Seeing the first time, still it was good. I got to see it a second time, Kyle. I'm going to try to go tomorrow. I did not have time today. Still working on that. I put 2.5 days, I should say, into that review video you guys saw today. So your boy's been busy, but I'm definitely going to go see it tomorrow. I really want to support this one, and I really want to see it beat out Joker, Joker 2 in the theaters. That would be so cool. That's indie horror history right there if it does, and it's already on track to anyways. But let's blow this thing out of the water. Let's see this movie like 100 times in theaters this weekend. Let's see how far we can boost these numbers. Because again, you know, I think if this movie makes more money, like significantly more money than the last one, and, you know, beats out a freaking DC movie, we could see Damien have even more creative control over the next one, which would be awesome. I would love to see that happen. Clearly it needs to, because every issue I have with Terrifier 3 seems to stem from the dude just not having enough time to do everything he wanted to do. And we already heard in an interview that Damien had to cut this one down to 2 hours for a theatrical release. So I really want to see I really want to see what else he can do by telling a longer story in the next one. Like, I'm honestly at the point where I could see Terrifier 4 being like a 3-hour epic, which I really wouldn't be against, because clearly the story will lend itself to that. So again, we'll see. All things in time. I'm sure we're gonna get some more updates in the next 6 months or so. But stay patient. Stay patient, my friends. This is just the next chapter of one very long story. What else we got going on in the chat? Riley Denby, what's up, dog? Sorry I wasn't here over the past few streams because of school stuff. That's all good. Get your school stuff taken care of, Riley. That's important. I just appreciate you stopping by now. Thanks for hanging out with old Jake on a Saturday night. Thanks for being here. Same with you, Brian Phillips. What's up, dog? There were 2 major events in Terrifier 3 that took place off screen. Yes, very much so, and it's almost kind of a bummer. But again, like, focusing on the good, because there was a lot of good in Terrifier 3. What we did end up seeing was all just fantastic. Again, all my issues come from the things we weren't able to see on screen. I think a lot of those things were just, we had to cut this out of the movie because we needed a shorter film, something a little more marketable overall, which does suck. But I'm glad that we did see an unrated cut of this movie at the end of the day. there could have been way worse compromises, right? There could have been way worse compromises making an R-rated Terrifier, for instance, which would suck. Like, that just wouldn't be Terrifier. You wouldn't be able to do some of the boundary pushing bullshit that Art the Clown gets to do in these movies without that. So I'm glad that the least amount of compromises were made in order to make this. Gangster bro, what's up, dog? Call me crazy, but Terrifier 4 Rex of Fire and Brimstone, if you know, you know. I do know, but I can't really talk anymore about that, unfortunately. The plot was very understandable. We got to learn a little more about Art, and that was great. Did love that. We got a little dip into Art the Clown's backstory, which was nice. Just a little bit, though, not too much. And again, I won't expand on that any further, but if you're someone who's like, I need answers, I need something, you get a little something. You get a little taste of something as to who the fuck this guy is and what the hell's going on with all the supernatural stuff, which is nice. And again, it's exactly what I wanted. It doesn't give you everything, right? It's just like, if the Terrifier franchise is one gigantic painting, we got another stroke of the brush. And I know I use that example all the time. If you've been here for a long time, you're like, I've heard that 1,000 times, but it's true. That's exactly what we got with Terrifier 3, and it makes me very happy. I'm glad not everything is spelled out quite yet. There are even more questions I have after Terrifier 3 where I'm like, what the fuck was that? What is going on here, you know? So there's a lot more shit to come. I think there could even be a Terrifier 4 and a 5 moving forward after 3. There could be a ton more movies depending on where the story goes. Punkachino, love that name as always, saying, I wonder if we'll see the kill in a flashback in 4. You're getting borderline on spoilers there, buddy. you chill out there. You chill out now. No, I'm just messing with you. But I think that could happen. I don't think it's a spoiler to say that there was flashbacks in this movie. I'm going to be real. We've been theorizing that for many moons. I would even go so far as to say we've been talking about that for a year now, that there would be flashback scenes in Terrifier 3. But I think that's absolutely a possibility for the next one. 100%, my dude. Matt Suboy? Is that what's going on here? I don't know. What's up, dog? How you doing? I like your logo. That's sick. I like that in the profile picture. Jake, which kill is worse? The costume shop cashier from T2 or the guy who got a knife through his head? Both in Terrifier 2. So you're talking about like the knife in his head. There's a lot of guys that get knives in their heads. There's even a guy in the music video, the Ice Nine Kills music video, that got a knife in his head. Shit. Probably the costume shop guy, though. I mean, just overall. That is so brutal. Dude gets his, like, his whole face fucked up with the bottle and all that, and then his head cut off, too? That sucks, man. That's a really good kill. I really like that one. So brutal. That guy's great, too. Jonath Davis. He's awesome. He's working on another short film with some of the Terrifier 2 producers right now, and the name is completely slipping me for whatever reason, but they just got it funded over on Kickstarter. I'm very excited to learn more about that, whatever's going on with that. It's called Mirror. I did a live stream on it a little while ago with the director and Marcus McGill, who's a Terrifier 2 producer and producing this short film. I highly recommend looking into that if you're curious what else that guy's up to, for sure. Erica, I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for modding tonight as well, saying, please remember to hit that like button, and if you want to show a little more love, then hit the subscribe button and change the bell to all so you never miss a video or live. That's pretty cool to do. I mean, you know, if you want, I don't really care, but if you want to hit that, if you like listening to this fucking guy in a beanie, just go on and on and on about horror movies, hey, do it. Why the fuck not? But I appreciate that, Erica. Thank you so much. Servants of Shredder. I love this name as well. We got some great screen names coming into these chats all the time, man. I really want Terrifier 5 to happen, but probably not because T3 made 4 look like the final chapter. And this is, I could get into this all day. I really feel like there could be more Terrifier, like past 3, like a lot more Terrifier past 3. But that's that. Again, I'm saving that conversation for my next video. When we can really get into spoilers and stuff. Probably the next stream too. We'll get into it. But I couldn't help but think like this could be like a Saw franchise where we go on for like 7 chapters now, based on what we were able to do story-wise in Terrifier 3. Again, there are some things that are a little choppy that I was talking about, but overall, I'm in love with this movie and what we were able to do here. Pro King 11 is saying, hi Killjoy, Jake, how was your day? Fantastic. I had a very nice day. Got to work on a review video all day, and I got some of my favorite food. It was awesome. So Also, I wanted to point this out. Eric from the Bearded Entertainment, he is so awesome, a very dear friend of mine. We just got to work on that short film that I posted on the page Monday that you guys may or may not have watched. If you didn't, I'm a little sad, a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. But he gave me this, which it looks like just a block of light because my exposure is a little too high on the camera. But I promise it's Art the Clown. It is Art the Clown, and it looks really cool, but it just doesn't show up on camera. And I turned it on for this stream, but it's just not, it's just a block of light, unfortunately. But I wish I could show what it does look like because it is so cool. He 3D printed that himself, and I've been meaning to make it part of the streams. It's basically just a key light right now, but I did want to point that out. I love it. It's so cool. And unfortunately, you guys just can't see it, which is a major bummer. Michael Parton is saying, I'll be at Scarefest, so I'll definitely come say hi. I will be at Scarefest next weekend, all weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So come on by, come say hey to Jake. I'll be buzzing about. I'm not going to have like a booth or anything, but I'll be walking around the whole fucking time. It's going to be awesome. So come say hi to Jake, talk horror with me. Tell me how much you love or hate new horror films. I want to hear it all. So please tell me. Please rant at my face. You guys listen to me rant all the time, so I think it's my turn to to listen to y'all. Erica just gifted 5 Killjoy Jake memberships. I really do appreciate that, Erica. You're so kind. Who did those go to? That went to Jace Crawford, Punkachino. Okay, listen, I'm so happy that all 5 of you got one, but like, I'm especially happy that Punkachino did. Now, trying to play favorites, but that's a really fucking cool name. Unpaid Movie Critic, also a really good name. Pro King 11 and Villain Killin' Dylan. Love it. Welcome back to the fold, some of y'all. Welcome fresh faces as well. Appreciate the support, Erica. Thank you so much. Thank you. And for members, by the way, y'all get to see a really special video coming out tomorrow. I did a horror hot takes video on the first Terrifier, so that's coming out tomorrow. I'm really excited for you guys to see it. Watch it. I would have posted it today, but I feel like that would have been overkill. We had a big ass review that dropped today, so clocked in at 16 minutes, which was nuts. So I'm posting that one tomorrow for patrons. Give it a watch. And then this Friday, I'm covering All Hallows Eve, requested by Josh Petrino. Because, I feel like Terrifier 3, and again, we've been theorizing this for a while, so I don't feel bad saying this. Terrifier 3 lends itself to a lot of the things we got to see in All Hallows Eve. Some Terrifier fans may be unfamiliar with that, a lot of the Ninth Circle stuff. So I wanted to cover that film, and Josh made a really good point about that on one of our last couple of streams. To talk about that, because obviously we are getting into some of that with Terrifier 4. So I'm going to cover that, and we'll talk a little bit about how that works in relation to the Terrifier franchise. Now, I'm really excited to get into it soon. So. Ty Lee throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much for the support. Again, Ty saying T3 needed a dream sequence like in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. If you know, you know. That's so funny. I think if anyone sees any more white horses in slashers, they're gonna revolt, though, man. I'll tell you what. I personally like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I'm a weirdo like that likes this movie. But what I will say is that the biggest thing I hear about this film, anytime it gets brought up, is, oh, fuck that white horse, dude. Like, fuck that shit. I don't want to see any more white horses in slasher movies. But that's so funny. I do feel ya. I think we needed an extended dream sequence, if you catch my drift. So something a little longer, something that kind of dove into that a bit. But again, strings for the next film, which you're going to be hearing me say that a lot over the course of the next couple of years waiting for Terrifier 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry I'm taking off the beanie. It is so hot in here, and y'all got to look at my bald ass head. Apologies for this. It is 1,000 degrees in this room. But yeah, I really think that's where we're going. I think a lot of the stuff that we were able to set up in this film is just we're moving into the next film with it. We're sowing the seeds now so that they can grow into something special in the next flick, and that has me very excited to see where all this kind of nonsense right now goes. It's exciting stuff, though, nonetheless. I'm so here for it, man. Ty, thank you so much for the $2. I really do appreciate your support, man, and I love your thoughts on the film as well. I'm excited reading through all this. It's so hype. We've been talking about this movie for 2 years. And we're finally just digging into it a little bit here, Obviously, we got to hold back from the spoilers. Some of us have not seen it yet. Some of us are just getting a taste of what the thoughts are with this new movie right now. But I'm excited. I'm really excited for Monday's stream, especially to just really get into this. Keemon Bell is saying most of the kills in Terrifier 3 were on screen, and most of them were off screen. That's just how a movie works sometimes. Well, again, without spoiling things, it's not so much the fact that the kills were off screen. It's more so the fact that there was just a really monumental piece of the story that was off screen. That to me is that's a problem. That's a big issue. I don't mind off-screen kills, especially like actually here's what I will say. There's a moment of Terrifier 3 that's done off-screen that I actually really did appreciate towards the beginning. That's all I'm going to say. And if you know, you know. If you've seen it, you definitely know what I'm talking about. There's something that's done off screen, but actually I find that scarier. I find it that it lends itself to an even scarier concept, not knowing what happened in a certain scenario. But again, there's a very crucial part of the story that is done off screen, and I take issue with that because that's something we've been talking about for a while. We needed to see that on screen. That was not, in my opinion, not a very good cut. I wish we would have been able to see something with that. And it also lends itself to another issue that, again, I break down in my review that I posted today. Don't want to talk about it on stream. Yeah, but that's really the only problem I had with Terrifier 3. Everything else about this movie fucking rocked. I mean, everything else. The score, there was a really goofy Christmas song in there, which, again, I don't feel like that's a spoiler. They wrote a Christmas song for this one that's all Terrifier themed. It's very funny, especially when that needle drop hits. But it's so good, man. It's a really fun flick. And, you know, again, we're talking about a sequel to what is, in my opinion, you guys might disagree, and that's totally fine, but Terrifier 2, that is my favorite slasher film. That's number one for me. Out of all the slashers I have seen, Terrifier 2, I could watch that a million times and not get sick of it. It's very much so up there, if not number one. We're talking about a sequel to that. I am going to judge this thing so hard. You know what I mean? Like, if a sequel to your favorite movie came out, basically, you would be the same way. That's why I'm a little hard on this one, because I really wanted to see something that could top that last one. But that's a tough thing to do. You know, of course that's going to be next to impossible for someone who calls Terrifier 2 their favorite slasher flick. So I'm hyped though. I'm so hyped to see what comes next from this franchise. Again, I think when we see the full story, when we see every piece of the puzzle, once this franchise is done, it's all going to make sense. But right now we're stewing in this mystery, but it's a lot of fun, man. That's what I'll say. Dev Envter is saying, long time no see, Killjoy Jake. Same to you, my friend. Welcome in, welcome in. Let's talk a little Terrifier 3, dog. And I see you're a Scream fan. If you're excited for Scream 7, that's pretty much going to be the focus of the page moving into November and December. So no worries. We're getting back to the Scream stuff real soon here. I'm excited for it. You know about All Hallows Eve 2? It's something. It's a film. You know, that is a film that came out. I like the first one the best, for sure. Excuse me. JT Owsley is saying, Terrifier 3 was terrifically mid. Or terrifyingly mid, I see. They attempt to explain more, and in so doing, everything is more nonsensical. I hope they figure out that nobody cares about the dumb lore. I care about the dumb lore. 1.5 out of 5, 11/14 is way better. Brutal! A brutal review from JT Owsley here. So I see you were not a fan of of what's going on here. Not a fan of the story. I just don't think that they can do multiple movies of Art the Clown just killing people. You know, I feel like people would get sick of that real fast. That's my takeaway from Terrifier 3. They got to do something with the lore. They got to explain what the hell's going on here, make it into a bigger concept, or I just feel like people are going to walk away from it and be like, okay, that was fun the first time, but now I'm sick of it. Admittedly, while I wasn't crazy about everything in Terrifier 3, they did take it to new places. And that to me is fantastic. I love that. I absolutely love that about this film. And personally, I'm really invested in the lore. I love gore. I love crazy kills. That's great. But to me, why I keep coming back to Terrifier is the story now. Like, I liked Terrifier 1. I saw a lot of potential in our killer here, Art the Clown. There was always something very magnetic about him, especially David Howard Thornton's performance with him. But it's in Terrifier 2 when I became a mega fan. You know, that's when I was like, okay, this is something fucking special, man. So for me, this is almost everything I wanted from a Terrifier 3, personally. But it makes me sad that you weren't crazy about the lore, my friend. So I'm so sorry to hear that. Hopefully in the next one they can do some crazier shit for you. You know, maybe you weren't crazy about the kills, which I'm shocked we're 30 minutes into this. We haven't even gotten to that quite yet. But JT, thank you for the 10. I really do appreciate you. I'm going to check out this 11/14. If you're coming to Scarefest, maybe let's get a fucking screening in or something, man. Thanks for the 10. Really do appreciate you. But yeah, I am curious what, again, no spoilers, but I'm curious if we can hint at what our favorite kill was in the movie. I think there's a lot of options. I think there's a lot of options towards towards favorite kill. There's some fucking excellent ones. There was two in my review I didn't even mention that I was thinking about it after I posted it, and I'm like, oh man, totally forgot to mention that. Like, the one in the attic, whew, really good stuff. Again, no spoilers, but man, that was brutal. The Dreaming Insomniacs, what's up, Joe? How you doing, man? Thanks for the 2, appreciate you. Let's do a podcast. Stoked for Terrifier 3. Joe, I've been so busy lately, man. I'm trying to do more stuff with people. It has been insane. I'm recording a podcast with somebody this week. And I actually had to move around my entire schedule in order to do so. Like, I literally, an hour before this stream, I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta do this upcoming week, and I just had to reorganize my whole fucking week in order to even make that happen. So, Joe, let's do it sometime though. Let's make it happen for sure. Thank you for the 2. I really do appreciate that. And I hope you liked the movie. I hope you will like the movie, I should say. It sounds like you haven't seen it quite yet, but enjoy when you're able to get there. Eric from Smells Like Teen Horror is hanging out with us tonight. What's up, man? How you doing? Jake, now that you've joined the Bald Head Club, I will be sending you your membership card. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I feel so welcomed to to the bald community. For those who don't know, for those who are just joining us, I shaved my head for a brand new short film that just came out on the page on Monday. We made it in 48 hours, so it's a little rough around the edges. We did not have time for post-production. We kind of just threw it all together and hoped it worked, kind of thing. It's for a 48-hour film festival, for those who are wondering. So hopefully we get some rewards and stuff. Who knows? I don't know what's going to happen with it, but hopefully it does some numbers, and people dig it. But tell me what you think. And again, if you have any criticisms besides the technical stuff, let me know. I'm curious what people say. But yeah, that's what's going on with all this. If you're like, what the fuck? Killjoy Jake looks scary as fuck. What's happening here? The Ribbit has been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much, Mr. Ribbit. I appreciate you. Saying, Jake, I loved Terrifier 3. It reminded me of my childhood. That's the most terrifying thing about this whole conversation right now. Dear God. You're also saying, I'll say it was my favorite movie of the year. I plan on dressing up as Ghostface on Halloween. Ooh, very nice. I'm going as Beetlejuice, and my girlfriend and I are going as Beetlejuice and Lydia. It's going to be fun. But very nice. I'm so glad you liked this one. I'm so on the fence. I don't know what my favorite movie of the year was. Like, it's a very unbelievably close tie between Terrifier 3 and The Substance, which I adore both of those movies. I worship at the altar of Damien Leone and Coralie Fargeau, which that is actually how you pronounce her last name. Ignore what I say in my review. But but no, that is so fantastic to hear. I'm so glad this was your favorite of the year, man. I fucking loved it. Like, I was over the moon, so hyped walking out of the theater for this one, for sure. Timothy Meads is with us. What's up, Timothy? How you doing, man? Saying, hey, Jake, how is your day going today? Holy shit, Terrifier 3 was fucking amazing. I was seated in row C in my theater, got all the kills in my face. Only thing that sucked is they didn't let my nephews in with me. Oh, that sucks. Man, that's brutal. I had a friend who took both of her kids to this movie, and they were like ages 6 and 10, I believe. Like, that is the coolest mom ever. Frankly, I'm like, that is so dope that you let your kids watch this. Good luck dealing with the nightmares. But but that's a major shame. I don't know if this is a good movie. I don't know if this is a good movie for kids or not. But hey, rock and roll. If you want to show your kids this movie, go for it. That's what I say. Do what you want to do. But this one's fucking brutal, especially after that opening scene. Yikes. But Timothy, it sounds like you enjoyed it for the most part, besides that little stipulation. I'm so glad you're hanging out with us tonight, man. Thank you. I'm still calling Joker 2 Joker Part 2, and you're not gonna stop me. Okay, Riley. I won't. I'm not gonna rain on this parade. Run it, man. I just love that. I can't. I'm still in disbelief that Terrifier 3 is doing better than this movie. Like, this is a big, comic book superhero movie. And albeit weird, I'm still shocked that people are not showing up for this and people are showing up for, like, basically an indie flick over that. That's just so telling to what, modern audiences are looking for. We're getting sick of the same gray sludge movie made over and over and over again, or something like Joker 2 that's clearly undercooked and way too all over the place. Finding that middle ground is so important. And I really think that modern audiences, man, we're looking for creativity, but controlled chaos. That's really what we're looking for more than anything. Oki Reviews is saying, we need Terrifier 4 as an Easter movie with Art in a bunny outfit. Can't argue with that. Terrifier 5 with Art in the summertime with a Hawaiian shirt and sunglasses, and the popcorn bucket should have been the mom's candy bowl head. I know. I know it totally should have been. That would have been dope. I do like the Santa Arts popcorn bucket though. I can't say I don't like that. It's so fucking dope. But I do agree the mom's head would have been sweet. That would have been such a nice deep cut. I love the idea of Terrifier 5 like going to Hawaii or some crazy bullshit like that. Like, why the fuck not at that point? Sure, why not? I will say, and again, no spoilers, but it almost sounds like Terrifier 3 has already laid the groundworks for a certain theme with Terrifier 4. So that also has me very excited, especially to see how that all gets fleshed out. So exciting stuff. I hope we do the Easter movie thing though. I really hope we're able to do that with the next one. But again, I have my thoughts on where it's going next. And Joe's also throwing another $2 in there saying, here's an extra 2 for my Terrifier typo, pod soon. Hey, we'll talk, man. I'll throw you a chat on Instagram or something. We'll get something set up here. But dude, thank you so much for the multiple super chats. I appreciate it. You don't got to throw another one in there to save a typo, but I appreciate that you did anyways. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for being here. Check out the Dreaming Insomniacs music too, by the way. They make music over there. Pretty crazy stuff. I always find it very ambitious when people like just throw their music out into the world like that. I think that's awesome. Dev is excited for Scream 7 so much. Just can't stop loving that franchise. Awesome. Hey, very good stuff. It's a great franchise to love. It's a very fun one. Shadow is saying the third movie was the best so far. I'm so glad you think so, my friend. I loved it. Terrifier 3 was a blast. I'm dying to see it again too, because I'm really off of a first watch here still. I know my take always changes after a second viewing. You catch more things. You're able to digest it more. I'm dead set in my belief that you have to see a movie at least 3 times before you can really judge it, really get into every aspect of what a film is trying to do. I think you got to see pretty much any movie 2-3 times before you can really dive into some of the more complicated shit with it. And Terrifier 3 is especially one I need to see at least 2 or 3 more times, like before I can really get into some of the other stuff. Gangster Bro is saying, seems like Damien tried to avoid making the Christmas elements too overbearing, but I would have gone Full House. Makes this feel like something you can pop on faster than Christmas Vacation. You know what's interesting about this? I say in my review that it's really subtle. Like the Christmas stuff, I feel like when it's not, like Arthur Claus meeting Santa for the first time, you know what I mean? When it's not something like that, it's really subtle. Like there's an instance where, again, I don't think this is a spoiler. Someone left me a comment saying that's a major spoiler. And I'm like, no, it's not. I didn't say who it was. There's a character in the back half of the movie who has like these broken wrists and they're trying to open up a present. Like Art the Clown makes them open up a present. And that's not a spoiler. I don't know what to tell you. To me, that's like, whoa, that was a really creative way to work Christmas into this sequence that you probably didn't have to do that, but they still made it happen. They still worked it into that scene. And I appreciated that. Don't expect every single, kill or scary sequence to feature some kind of Christmas take on it, but like there are those little tiny subtle moments of that outside of the bigger, Santa Claus at the mall kind of thing, outside of those moments too, which personally I really appreciated. But I have seen some people say like, I wish they had done more with the Christmas stuff, but it never got too gimmicky for me. And honestly, I personally thought it was done really well. I really appreciated it. A lot of homages to other Christmas horrors too. Like we've already seen in the trailer, Art the Clown in that attic, looking out the window. That is very clearly a Black Christmas homage, which is great. Art the Clown with the axe. Anytime he's got that axe, I mean, dude, that's a Silent Night, Deadly Night reference, like without argument, And that's so cool. I really love that we were able to work those little things in here, which was fun. But personally, I dug it, I was vibing with it. Shireen Crumble is saying, man, honestly, 8 out of 10 if you ask me. That's still pretty good, though. 8 out of 10 is not bad. Nothing dragged, in my opinion, and I was engaged with everything throughout. Even a bigger fan of Art the Clown and the franchise after watching. More gore. Fuck yeah, dog. That rocks. That's a good rating. I mean, I'm kind of right there with you. I gave it a 9. I gave it a 9 out of 10 because I think I'm just a little more... I'm just so hyped up. Anything Terrifier, like it's a fucking event for me. It's a anytime I see stuff like that, it's just like it's right up my alley. A lot of Terrifier 3. Again, we've been talking a lot about some of the problems tonight, but man, what works in this movie just felt like it was tailor-made for me. Like, it's exactly what I'm looking for from a good slasher flick. There is so many laugh-out-loud moments in this flick. Again, the Santa scene, which that's in the trailer, you know, that's not a spoiler. Obviously, there's Santa Claus and Art the Clown get into a room together. That scene is so unbelievably funny. Actually, it's on YouTube. Yeah, I just forgot. That officially got released, so I'm not even spoiling anything there. That scene is like when he sees him in the fucking window, that is so, I was like crying laughing. It was so funny. Dear God. So I don't know, man. There's some excellent stuff in this movie, in terms of some crazy kills, some crazy hilarious moments. Anything you could possibly want as a fan of, especially Terrifier 2, you will see in this movie. But I also think that they have some of the terror from the first one. Like, there's a lot of mean-spirited moments as well, like some torture moments where they really go deep into that. Finding that mix, that middle ground between Terrifiers 1 and 2 in little subtle details. This is a carefully crafted flick. I will say that. It's got some problems, but man, I love it. Mr. Rick has been a member for 16 months, which is completely insane. Rick, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. And Mr. Rick is always rocking a red right hand profile picture, which I mad respect for. You're going to see something new from the Killjoy team very soon here, which is so exciting. You know, we got that 48-hour short film. That was just kind of that was icing on the cake that's coming soon. Let's just say that. But Mr. Rick is saying, just saw Terrifier 3, still don't know what I think about it. I liked it, but not as much as the second one for me personally. I think it had too much hype. I agree that I like the second one more, but I still think this one is a fucking banger. Like, it's still fantastic overall. And honestly, I get, like, if you are someone in the camp of I liked Terrifier 3 more than 2, that is completely fair. Like, there are some elements of 3 that are just simply done better than 2. I think even though I think I still like 2 better, I can't help but agree with that as well. Like, the performances across the board are great. I think the special effects, I think, look better than Terrifier 2, even though I still think the alley kill is our number 1 from the franchise. I don't know if they necessarily topped that, but man, I mean, across the board, every death in this movie has something unbelievably special about it. And that, to me, that's all I'm looking for. I don't need every Terrifier to go and give me, like, a longer death. I don't need that, personally. The quality of every kill fucking rocked, and that, to me, that's enough. That's enough for me to rock and roll with this one. So, I had a very good time with this one. And it sounds like you still enjoyed it, Mr. Rick. So I think that's what matters at the end of the day. I'm so glad you vibed with this one, even if you thought 2 was still better. But it was fun. Oh, my God. I'm dying to see it again. I'm really dying to see it again. Orion is saying, I love Terrifier 3, but I feel that it wasn't bloody enough. I mean, totally fair. I don't know. I thought it was gory, bloody, nasty. Holy fuck. It was good stuff. A K don't play. What's up, A K? How you doing? Saying, I enjoyed your short film. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Jose, with a little Shrek profile picture, is saying, my personal favorite part of Terrifier 3 was the bar scene. So funny. Unbelievably hilarious. That was so great. And Jace, I see your comment about the attic scene. I'm not going to click on that because I feel like that's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, that is unbelievably wild. Kimon is saying the buzz cut doesn't look too bad on your head. You look good with it. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm very excited for it to grow out again. Let's just say that. I'm excited for it to get back out. We're getting there. And a K don't play is also saying, without spoilers, brutal. Yes. And, you know, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, because we've seen rats in these movies before. The presence of rats are in this movie, and if you guys have been following this page for a while, you guys know how much I like rats, especially in horror flicks. I'm very pleased with... I'm unbelievably pleased with what this film was able to do. Again, tailor-made. It just feels tailor-made for me. Like, they're just little nuances like that. I love, like rats are so gross to me. I love them. I wish they were in every horror movie. So it's great stuff. Very happy with all that. Robert Brunello is saying Terrifier 3 clapped major cheeks. Love to hear that. The employees wouldn't let the peeps dressed as Art bring in their masks. Oh man, really? That sucks. We had a bunch of people dressed up as like Arthur Claus and just Art at the theater. No one cared. Like, it was not a big deal at all. That sucks, man. That's major bummer. But I'm glad. It sounds like you had a lot of fun with this one, Robert. It was great. It was so much fun. Fucking crazy, dude. Killer flick. Jessica Myers is saying whoever gets the torrent for Terrifier 3 to me first gets my soul. Please don't pirate movies, man, especially not indie flicks. Come on, that sucks, guys. Hundreds of people worked very hard on this flick, and to pirate it, that just blows. That's no fun. Kyle Bowen is saying the part with Vicky was low-key traumatizing. Honestly, I don't think it was necessary and was there for shock value. Still movie of the year. Well, yeah. I mean, again, no details, but this is Terrifier, dog, you know? Like, we got to have a little bit of shock value. Did Allie's death need to go on for, like, fucking 20 minutes in Terrifier 2? No. But it was shocking. It was shocking and it was fun. Ellie Cortez is saying, what's up, Jake and everyone? What's up, Ellie? How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate you a bunch. Sorry, everybody. I'm so dehydrated. Stereo Crow 1954 is saying this movie was fucking wild, bro. Yes, it was. And again, you know, storyline might not have been perfect, but it was wild. It was nothing short of completely insane and made me had to look away. There was a few times I had to look away from the screen, man. It was too much. I was like, oh God, Lord Almighty, so upsetting. Art the Clown, man, he just does some crazy shit. He does some really crazy shit, man. CF is saying, hey Jakey Poo, how you doing? How you doing, Boo Bear? Welcome in, dog. Tylee is saying, I wanted a scene of headless Art walking through alleys and side streets like he did in the beginning of Terrifier 2. Having cops drive by or people walk by his headless body as just walking around. That would have been funny. There was some moments of some humanity from Art. You know, I praised the very beginning of Terrifier 2 where we get to see him at the laundromat. We do get a few scenes of that where it's just like Art doing his thing, like by himself. Like he's not, you know, not killing anybody or anything. And I won't go into detail there, but I did appreciate that. I appreciated we got to see that. And again, I feel like those little interludes, it really builds like how mean this character is. Again, getting back to that feeling of the first movie, which was important to me. And I liked that. I like that we could find that in this movie. There was some terrifying sequences of this. Sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, this guy's fucking scary, man. I don't know if I felt that in Terrifier 2. You know, I don't know if in Terrifier 2 I was like, oh, I'm terrified of Art the Clown. You know, it's more of, it's got that silly edge to it. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's fun. Glibglob87 is saying, pass the rice. No spoilers, but I love it. 10 out of 10 quote. Great stuff. I can't wait, man. Gojira fan are you seeing it in 2 days? That's exciting. Have fun. Enjoy it. In 2 days, we're also doing a spoiler review on the page, so stop on by if you can, if you're not seeing the movie then. Did I shave my head? Unfortunately, I did, Nowak 420. I did it for a movie, though, so I feel like that's worth it. Sacrifice for your art. At least that's my motto. I don't know if it's the best motto, but there we go. So go check out our new short film, The Promotion. Posted it on Monday. You'll see it on the page. Give it a watch for context on this crazy shit. So it'll grow back. You know, I'm already starting to notice it grow back. It's like it's a centimeter taller than it was a week ago. So I'm like, okay, here we go. We're getting it. You know what? This is a completely fair criticism. King of Sanity is saying, I'm just disappointed part 3 didn't give us the answer to if Art puts clown paint on his wiener as well. You know, King of Sanity, I gotta amend my review. I gotta go back. I gotta go back and actually just work something else in there. I'm upset now too. Thank you for pointing out this very vital issue with the third film. Dear God, yeah, does he? Like, is it just the face? What else is going on here? King of Sanity, actually, let's break this down. He doesn't paint his fingers specifically. Like, we just see the finger gloves on there. So I don't think he does, unfortunately, which is no fun. I think he should paint the wiener and both the balls, frankly. That's so funny. Jason is saying, I saw the movie twice back to back. Really loved it. I'm so glad you liked it, Jason. It's a fun one. I'm seeing it again tomorrow, so I'm here for it. Cannot wait. I'm really, I gotta say this again. I hate being this guy, but I'm just seeing, I'm skipping over so many comments of people who are talking about pirating this movie, and I just think that really sucks, man. Like, again, you are hurting the people who make these movies. You're making it harder for a Terrifier 4 to happen by doing that. So please don't pirate movies, man. There's a look. There's not a lot of things that I'll be like follow the rules on that. Like, I'm not very much so a rule follower, but that actually hurts people in the industry. Hurts like literally friends of mine. So don't do that. That sucks balls, dude. Major ball suckage right there. Gashead 654321 is saying Terrifier 3 was incredible. They deserve to do well in the box office. The directing, the makeup, the kills are amazing. I would love to see another horror movie try and top the gore in this franchise. You can't. You genuinely can't. And like, I think that's the biggest thing about Terrifier 3. Does anything top the bedroom scene? Like, yes and no. Like, I think there's a sequence in this movie that made me reel back like just as much as the bedroom scene, but it doesn't go on for nearly as long. And I think the longevity of that kill is a big reason why the bedroom sequence is so effective. But for me, every kill in this movie is a step above like the middle of the road kills from Terrifier 2. And that to me is what's more valuable. Across the board, everything in this movie is even more effective than the last film. Like, the alley kill is a big standout from the last one, of course. Brooke's death is another big one from the last movie that rocks. But I mean, everything in this movie is like could be up there with the bedroom scene, is in the S tier of Terrifier kills. Everything. I mean, there's not one where I'm like, that was all right, whatever. Even some of the off-screen stuff, like, we get to see some aftermath of it in 2 cases. That was like, holy fuck, that was awesome. I don't know. For me, I was really blown away by the kills in this one. But I do understand why some people are coming away from this one saying they didn't necessarily top the last film. But I really appreciated the quality across the board. It wasn't like the movie had like these big spikes and then it would just kind of like dip. I felt like it maintained this level of quality from start to finish with the gore, especially. That was so impressive. Oh my God. I mean, dude, like, just the little kills, like just the little stuff. And again, the attic, I won't say any more than that, but that attic kill, that's fucking, like, that would have been, if you take the alley kill out of Terrifier 2, that would have been the best kill in the whole movie. That beats everything else in Terrifier 2, in my opinion. Holy shit. Like, goddamn. There's some good stuff. There's some really good stuff in Terrifier 3, man. There's some excellent stuff here. Servants of Shredder is saying we need 5 more Terrifier movies for 5 more holidays, and for 5 more Deadly Sins in every movie for every holiday. Art celebrates a 7 deadly sin. Sounds like you're getting into some 7 territory there. Rock on. So, some good stuff there. And Oki Reviews is saying you gave it a 10 out of 10 on Letterboxd. I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I left the theater, and then I sat on it for a bit and I really thought about it. I've had in that time period from when I saw it to now, posting my review, I've had multiple conversations with a lot of other YouTubers. I've also had multiple conversations with, I won't say too much about this, but with some of the people who were closer to the film than I. And I love the film. I love it. I think it's fucking amazing. But there are some things about it that I feel showed some cracks that I think can get filled with another movie. And I love it. Again, I have my little minute issues with it, which I'm going to bring up because I'm a stickler like that. But this movie's so much fucking fun. I mean, it easily beats out 99% of the horror flicks from 2024, in my opinion. So I just fucking love it, dude. I really fucking love this movie, and I want to see it just get better and better and better with each movie, which I think is possible. And that's awesome. It comes to VOD on November 26th, says Isaiah. That's awesome. I know we're getting a 4K in December, which is even sooner than when Terrifier 2 was able to release a 4K. So that's exciting. It's really exciting stuff. We're going to get to see this one soon. Art the Clown on Talk to a podcast. Oh, God. That would be the first episode of it I would listen to. Tell you what. Art the Clown will make an appearance in my film in Scream 7. Holy shit, Ghostface. What do you mean, dog? That's so awesome. I hope so. That would make me very happy. See, Art the Clown takes off the Ghostface mask. I'd be like, I'm not even mad. This is awesome. No complaints. The phone calls would be pretty quiet, though. That's the one thing that I think would suck about that. But maybe he has an accomplice, Maybe. What happened to my boy's head, dude? I know. I know, what the fuck is going on here? Watch my short film, the promotion, if you want context, and I'm sorry for everyone who's been hanging out this whole time, who's like, shut the fuck up. I already watched it. No, but check it out for context, if you're just like, what the fuck is going on here, Jake? What's happening? Scott Royston is saying it's like an end of a sewing? Of a suing? Other words, Jake, you ruined like the movie Willard. I ruin movies. Is that what you're trying to tell me? I love the movie Willard. It's got rats in it. So I I really like I really Willard's great because of rats. I can't even say anything else besides that. Polly DeSanders is asking, Jake, do you want an extended cut of Terrifier 3? Yes. Before I even read the rest of this, yes, 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 and yes. I believe it would be a perfect release on VOD and Blu-ray for Christmas. I need those cutscenes. There is clearly some cutscenes from this movie. There's some stuff that I'm like, they had to have filmed this. Come on, dude. There's no way. There's no way they didn't film some of this shit. So yeah, I do believe, and we even heard Damien say, like, there's some stuff that's been left on the cutting room floor. Would love to put this in at some point in the future. I've even heard, through the grapevine that there was some like kills and gore and stuff that had to be cut from the movie in order to reach a certain runtime. So I imagine we'll see something. I imagine we'll get something again, because this is a Christmas horror movie that we're seeing in October. That's weird. We could see a re-release come this Christmas, but don't bet on that. I think it would be a good idea. Like, this movie's already making money. Why not re-release it with like some additional scenes, right? 5 more minutes of footage or something. People would go out. I'd go out to see that. Are you kidding me? There is definitely more to this one, though, Polly. I guarantee you that. I legit thought you were in the movie, Jake. Oh, you oh, with the rats. Is that what you're saying? I love rats. I love them so much. I'm so happy. So happy they made it in here. Gojira fan is saying, I don't think the shower scene topped Allie's death, probably because of the cuts and when the goofy music started to play. I liked the goofiness, though. And Allie's death, even Allie's death has some goofiness to it, dude. The bleach and the salt is hilarious. Like, I kind of took it, I even compared it to that in my review. I'm like, the shower scene is set up similar to the bedroom scene. Like, because you have that, you have a goofy song play towards the end. That's not a spoiler. I didn't say what happens in the sequence, But we have that a Christmas song play, and I think that's very funny. But again, it's very similar to the bleach and the salt. I feel like it's the same. We're going through some similar vibes there with that one, but it is a very different sequence. I'm with you though, Gojira fan. I don't think it topped the bedroom scene because again, that one has a lot more length to it, which I love. But I did really enjoy it. It's a top 10. It's a top 5 Art the Clown kill. I will say. Like I would go so far as to say that. And again, I don't think I needed it to top the bedroom scene. I don't think they were going for, they're saying they're going for that, but I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't need it to. The quality of each kill was better than most of the stuff in the last 2 movies. And that to me, that's the most important thing. And I love that. Oh, Mr. Rick is saying Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother. Sorry, I forgot his name. He was only in it for 10 minutes, but he was great. Loved it. What an underrated so underrated after he should have been in more kind of thing. I totally feel you. It was nice though. We got a cameo from him. We got a cameo from Tom Savini. I think we kind of knew going into this one that those were going to be cameos. They got announced late kind of thing. And it was cool to see both of them. For those who don't know, Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother, he's a pretty, more underground, like lower level horror villain that plays the Ice Cream Man. Love that. I love the Ice Cream Man. Ice Cream Man is fucking crazy if you've never seen that one. So campy, so over the top. So it was cool that we got to see him here. He's pretty unrecognizable, which is funny too. But I loved his scene for sure. I did love that a lot. And Tom Savini gets like 2 minutes, like not even 2 minutes of screen time, which made me so sad. I wish we got more Tom Savini because he's great in everything. And I actually meant to bring that up and I completely forgot. But there's more there was something else I wanted to say about the Tom Savini scene in particular that I think they could have done something else with it personally. That's all I'm going to say. But I won't say any more than that on this stream. Cody's Steak and Shake Killjoy Jake fan is saying, did Jake get a haircut? Holy fuck. Unfortunately. Haircut meaning I shaved my head for a short film. because I'm completely insane. But yes. Scott Royston's throwing $5 out there. Thank you so much for supporting the page, Scott. Saying, no, I was saying that's so apparently since you love rats that you'll love them. You love the movie Willard. Yes, that is true. Dude, I love Willard. I've never seen the sequel Ben, but I hear it's bad, so that's kind of why I've avoided it. I actually like Willard. I really like it. Genuinely, rats, jokes aside and all that. I think it's a really well done movie. It's fun. It's gross, and again, it's got a lot of rats. So what's not to love? But Willard's fun. I've actually I have seen the remake with what's his face, Marty McFly's dad, whose name is totally slipping me, but. The original is really good too. So some good stuff all around there. Love that a lot. And Scott, you're also throwing $10 out there. Thank you so much. Saying despite the flaws in this film, along with some of the scenes that did not make too much of any sense, I would say that this film would be on par with Part 2. It was still a very decent flick. Yeah, and again, I think that this movie is setting up, is sowing some seeds. So it's tough for me to disagree that there is some stuff in this movie where I'm like, what the fuck? Why are we seeing this right now? But I think it's all going somewhere. And once we get into Part 4, I think just like Part 2, there was some stuff where people were like, well, why did we learn all that stuff about the dad? It had no effect over the plot. It didn't. In Part 2, but it does here in Part 3 a little bit, and I won't say any more than that. And now there's even more stuff, like a lot more stuff that's like, why the fuck are we seeing this? Why didn't we see this? That's even the bigger question that has me scratching my head now. But again, I think in Part 4, a lot of these questions are going to be answered. So Scott, what I'll say for now is stay patient, and maybe your criticisms of the film will get polished out once we get into Part 4, but again, maybe they don't, who knows. But I'm giving the Terrifier team the benefit of the doubt because they did answer some questions from Part 4, brought some things back that became relevant, which I appreciated. Especially Victoria Hayes. Like, why was she giving birth to Art the Clown's head at the end of the last flick? Now we know. There's a reason. There's a reason for it here in Part 3. Scott, thank you so much for the super chats, man. I really do appreciate it. I'm excited to see what Part 4 holds, man. I'm really hyped to see what's next from this one. Riv Go Crazy, thank you for being a channel member. Saying, I think the bedroom scene is more shocking because you didn't expect it. We were all expecting the shower scene. Yeah, I think there was a little bit of hype with the shower scene. The bedroom scene was hyped up a little bit. Like I remember one of the first shots we saw from Terrifier 2 was Damien Leone posting the picture of Art the Clown ripping Allie's hand in half, but we didn't see who the victim was. Sorry, everybody. I get like random hiccups halfway through like every stream. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I think with the shower scene, the biggest thing is that it's done very well, and it's a really brutal kill. But I think to me, what's so impressive about it, what makes it stand out, is there's a thematic relevance to it that I really appreciated. But I know some fans are going to hear that and be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I just want the most brutal kill imaginable. And fair, if that's what you're looking for, fair. But there's something about the kill that's set up earlier in the film that I really appreciated. That to me was like, okay, this is really well thought out. I think that's awesome. Like that's fun the way we were able to do this while still giving us one of the most outrageous and brutal endings to a character's life in the whole flick. So I appreciated that. There's a lot of different angles to the shower scene that are not present with the bedroom scene that I thought was cool. So you might be someone who doesn't give a fuck about that. That's totally fair. But I'm a weirdo. I'm a weird film snob who does care about things like that. I think it's fun. It's very, very well thought out. Shirame is saying this movie has to get an added score just because it has more rewatch value than the other two films, in my opinion. There is a lot of, honestly, I can't disagree with this either. There's a lot of reasons to rewatch Terrifier 3 that are not present in the last two flicks, for sure. Like 100%. There's a lot of little hidden details. There's a lot of references to the past movies, which I'm not gonna lie, I complained about that a little bit in my review video, but it does add a level of rewatchability if you're someone who's really into Easter eggs. But there's a lot of it's kind of tough to explain. If you guys have ever seen Hellraiser 3, I think that's the perfect movie to compare this to. Like, this is the Hellraiser 3 of the Terrifier franchise. Hellraiser 1 and 2 like are very like straightforward horror flicks. 2 gets a little campier than the first one, but not really. Like it's still very scary. It's still expanding the story from the first one. 3 gets full on camp. Like it's a Nightmare on Elm Street flick basically with Pinhead, and some people didn't like that because it flanderizes the character. It makes him more of a slasher villain versus like a result of opening the puzzle box. Which I dig it. I like Hellraiser 3 because it is a different take on kind of the same idea. But some people are like, this is just a Nightmare on Elm Street flick. But I like Nightmare on Elm Street flicks. so I don't mind it. But to me, Terrifier 3 is like the Hellraiser 3 of the franchise because it kind of makes its character a little more self-referential. Like there's again, no spoilers, but there's a sequence where we're basically just directly Art the Clown's almost looking at the camera almost and giving us like a little like, oh, thanks for making me so popular kind of moment basically. And it's very funny in the moment. I like it, but it feels mainstream, and Terrifier is so indie. It's just like, it's almost kind of jarring to see that in this flick, But some people are going to see that and love it. Some people are going to see that and be like, this is awesome. Art the Clown should be celebrated. They're having their moments here, and I respect that. But I know that on multiple rewatches, I'm going to learn to hate that because that's just who I am. I'm just not someone who likes stuff like that personally. It's a big pet peeve I have with mainstream movies just in general, but Terrifier got to gloat a little bit here, and you know what? That makes me happy. I can't even be mad about that. That's cool. They deserve it. They shot up in popularity after that second movie, man, and that's awesome. So they deserve to have their moment for sure. Is anyone else joining in on the Meat Canyon October list like I am? Meat Canyon, I don't know anything about this. I love Meat Canyon, though. One of my favorite YouTubers, without a doubt. Also, Jake, have you seen Ice 9 Kills' new video with art? Yes, it's awesome, dude. If you guys have not seen that, that is on YouTube, so I don't really care if I spoil that. It's a music video. but go give it a watch. It's sick. We get some new Art the Clown kills. And we also get some cameos from Catherine Corcoran from the first Terrifier and Leah Voicey, the Clown Cafe girl from Terrifier 2, which was dope. She was especially awesome in that, I thought. But no, that was sick. It was a lot of fun. And there's also some surprise cameos in there too that you don't know about quite yet. I won't say any more than that, but some really good stuff in there. Ooh, and Carter, I'm so glad you brought this up because this was a conversation earlier on in the year when In a Violent Nature came out. Now, for those of you who have not seen In a Violent Nature yet, I highly recommend it. It's not for everybody, but if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, I think you're going to dig this one. That's all I'm going to say. But there is a kill in a Violent Nature that, again, I won't spoil, but it made me think, wow, Terrifier 3's got some competition, dude. This is a solid death in a horror flick. In a Violent Nature has something so special like that, and I would say that there's a kill in Terrifier 3 that tops it. But man, like, it is neck and neck. Like, I mean, you could go either way with which one you like better. They're both unbelievably creative and really well done. It's tough to say which one I think is the very, very best, but whew, man, there's some good stuff in there for sure. There's a lot of good slashers this year, man. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. We got In a Violent Nature, Terrifier 3. What a year for slashers, man. Oh my God. I think one of the best years for slashers we've had in a very long time. Fuck. But I have seen some of the kills from that movie. They're great. They're so well done. And they definitely give Terrifier 3 a run for its money. But I'm going to go so far as to say I think I personally liked a kill in T3 better than the In a Violent Nature kill. That's what I'll say. And if you know, you know. All I'm going to say is rats. That's all I'm going to say. But Carter, rock on, man. I loved that movie so much. It was so much fun. Scott is also gifting some memberships. I really do appreciate you, Scott. You're killing it tonight. Giving those to Richard B., Horror Fan 101, Manifest, Coop de Oof, and Manny's Manic Media. I love a good alliteration. Welcome to the fold, fellas. Hell yeah, dog. For those who don't know, members get to see the Horror Hot Take series, which is a very special little something I do for Patreon and channel members. You guys are going to see one on Terrifier, the first one from 2016, tomorrow. It's coming out tomorrow on the page. It's going to be great. It's in the can. It's done. I'm releasing it tomorrow. Because if I released it today, it would be a little too much, I think. it would be too much. We got a 16-minute review video on the page, a big-ass live stream we're doing literally right now. Big video tomorrow for Patreon supporters. It's going to be awesome. And then I got some special stuff in the week. preparing us for Smile 2. So it's exciting stuff. But Scott, thank you so much for gifting those memberships again. I really do appreciate you. How is it possible to have a spoiler-free live stream? Don't put spoilers in the chat, and I won't spoil anything either. I'm going to give you little tiny details, like how I have been all night, but I'm not going to spoil anything that I feel like is, like, ruining the movie. Like, there are some things I won't say. There are definitely some things, especially about that third act, I will not say or get into. And I would encourage you to do the same, please. No spoilers yet. But again, we're talking spoilers on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Stop on by 7 o'clock Monday night if you really want to get into all that. And yes, there is a new podcast now. Mad shout out to Alex from that channel. Sent me a link to this, which is crazy. There's a Terrifier game coming out soon, which is nuts. It looks just like the Scott Pilgrim, like 16-bit game or whatever. So it looks fun. Looks like it's gonna be cool or whatever. I'll probably play it on the gaming channel. But I'm here for it. I'm like, okay, that looks fun. Why not? And Erica, our beloved mod, is deleting spoilers, so just don't put them out there. Jake's not going to talk about them. Not until Monday, that is. Shameless plug again. We're getting sick of that, aren't we? For Misery Gaming, what's up, man? Thanks for being a member. Saying definitely seeing Smile 2 next week. Gonna be fun. It is gonna be fun, dude. I'm really hyped up for Smile 2. Hearing some really good early praise for that one as well. This is gonna, tell you what, this month has shaken up, I should say, my top 10 for 2024. I don't even know how I'm gonna rank some of these movies, man. There's some good stuff out in the back half of this year. And 2024 started rough, man. I was like, man, 2024 has been rough, but the back half of this year, like since July onwards, nothing but good stuff, pretty much. Wow. Like we've seen some pretty kick-ass horror flicks in the past couple of weeks. Rivgo Crazy has been a member for 2 months. Thank you so much for the support, my friend. Saying, Jake, do you think the opening scene lived up to the hype? I think it did. I think it did too. It definitely doesn't, like, here's what I'll say. It's done very tastefully. I think at this point, we all know what the fuck is going to happen in this flick. It's been teased to us since November of last year. I think it's done very tastefully. I would even go so far as to say it's got as much taste as, like, It 2017's opening, right? I loved it, though. I thought it was done really well. And again, I think that if they would have pushed it any farther, it would have been just too grim to enjoy. I've seen a lot of movies where I'm personally just like, this is too far for me. I'm not enjoying this. This is just gross. And I can't get into that. But I think the opening scene was done really well with taste, and is still very, is still pushing boundaries, which is nice. You got to have that in horror, but you can't. There's a certain line that even horror fans are like, dude, really? Like, why'd you do that? I watched a movie the other day too, which I think is a really good example. Comparing and contrasting here, that I watched this found footage movie, and it starts off with a guy, and like, apologies in advance for anyone out there, but he's just mutilating a woman's genitals. Like, that's how this movie starts. And to me, I turned it off immediately. I'm like, that's just awful. Like, what the fuck? I don't want to see, like, don't start your movie with that. You know what I mean? I don't know. That to me isn't fun. That's just like, that's pushing that's crossing a line that's like, okay, this isn't fun for me anymore. This is just upsetting. And it almost feels exploitative. Terrifier never does that for me. Like, yes, it's very upsetting. It pushes some boundaries for some people, I'm sure, but it's kind of just feels like, it kind of feels like if the Friday the 13th franchise didn't have the MPAA breathing down their fucking necks. That's what it feels like to me. It's still very fun. It's still very like, oh my God, Art the Clown's such a silly fucking guy. He's still losing his mind over Santa Claus like a 6-year-old kid. That's fucking hilarious. But we also have some brutal murder and gore candy, which is great. But I don't feel like it ever goes farther than that. And Terrifier 3, another spitting example of that, in my opinion, thank God. But I know some people are like, oh, I wish it would have gone farther. And I respect it, man. If that's what you're into, rock on. But I think there's a line for me. There's a line where I'm like, this is just not fun anymore. This is just exploitation for exploitation's sake. And Gojira Fan is reminding me of another great slasher from this year's stream. An excellent movie. Really tough to say which one I liked more, if I'm being real. I think, here's what I will say, though. Stream was excellent. Great kills. Some really fun little cameos and all that. I don't know if I was crazy about the characters. That's my one thing about Stream. I really, my only big criticism of it is I just wasn't like behind the family unit as much as I was with like the In a Violent Nature people, which are, purposefully bad, but that's kind of the point, right? Like we're making these bad characters who are parallel to the Friday the 13th, nothing camp counselors. but I liked, it was funny. It was almost like we're mocking that, right? There's a point to that. Stream, I don't know. I just wasn't into a lot of the characters in that one, but the kills were great. There's a creative kill in Stream that I think is another top 10 of the year, which for those, that's a little more underground. So again, I won't talk about that one either, but all I'll say is, yeah, David Howard Thornton gets to have some fun in Stream as well, with another friend of his that is so well done. Such an excellent kill. Some great stuff in there, dude. 2024 ranking video ? Yes, that always my last video of the year is ranking every movie that I got to see in the year prior. I did one for 2023. I think it clocks in at like 43 minutes or some crazy bullshit. Really good video if you guys have never seen that. Give it a watch. But I'm so hyped to rank everything from 2024. I've been keeping a list on my phone, like, of how I rank everything I've been able to see this year so far, and I have rearranged it probably 100 times. And I'm right now, I'm like, what the fuck do I do? Like, what the fuck? There's so many good movies, man. I don't know what to do now. I was pretty, like, maybe 3-4 months ago, I was pretty like, okay, I think I know how this is going to flow. But some big surprise hitters have just really knocked me over the last couple of weeks, honestly. Like, this between The Substance and Terrifier 3. I don't know how to fucking rank some of these movies, man. There's some good stuff out there. It's crazy. Crazy, man. Gashead654321 is saying, hey Jake, thanks for being a legend. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I know you got a busy schedule. Hope you're well. I'm okay. I'm living, man. This weekend I was supposed to chill out tomorrow, and now that's not. I don't got a break until I take a week off here in November now, unfortunately. But it's okay. I can't complain. This is the job I've been dreaming of my whole life, and I get to do it. So. If it means I got to sacrifice some weekends, let's fucking rock and roll. It's all good. Do you think we will see the little pale girl in Terrifier 4? I think that's a possibility. Yeah. We got to see some characters in this one from previous movies. Again, we've already seen in the trailer that Brooke comes back in some capacity, and I think that was cool. That was a really fun little moment. I think it's absolutely possible. As well as some characters that, we lost in previous entries. I think those characters could come back for the next one as well. There's something about, and again, I won't get into spoiler territory here, but there's something about the ending of Terrifier 4 that could lend itself to more of this moving forward. And again, I feel like there's some nonsense in here. All I'm going to say, pass the rice. That's all I'm going to say. There's some of that scene just kind of felt like nonsense to me, but I think that's going somewhere in part 4. Let's just say that. And we could see even more people from the past there as well. I'm working hard here to bounce around spoilers, man, but there's more to come from people we've lost. Let's just say that. But thank you so much for the super chat. A great question as well. Yes, we will definitely see the little pale girl. I think we will definitely see her in more movies to come and some other shit going on here, because there's more to be said about Emily Crane. I think the living version of her, not the demonic entity of the character. I think there's more to be done with that for sure. I'm edging to this right now, says Riley 10p. God, I mean, at least support me on OnlyFans if you're going to do that. Come on now. Carter Card something is saying, are you excited for the next VHS film? Dude, I loved VHS Beyond. It was so much fun. Did they announce VHS 8 yet? I have not been looking at the news. I'm going to be so real. I'm curious if they are going to announce that yet. Are they making another VHS film? I'm just gonna look that up. I'm so curious. Why is it giving me VHS 99 stuff? That's so funny. Yeah, so nothing yet on that, but dude, I'll tell you what, I imagine they'll make a VHS 8 after Beyond. Beyond is getting reviewed so well. Like, dude, VHS Beyond, the last time I checked, had I think it had like a 90% or something on Rotten Tomatoes, which is nuts. Yeah, it still has a 90% from 49. That's fucking crazy. And a 62% from audiences, which is really still pretty good, dude. I mean, this movie kicked my ass. I did not think it was going to go as hard as it did. I was really feeling like, okay, they're going to space with this one. That's like the big thing they're advertising. I think this is it. I think they're just like, they're calling it quits after this movie. Now I don't know. Like, this movie's clearly going to do well from Shudder. It's being reviewed so well. I feel like another one could be in the works. I mean, why not? If you're getting reviewed so well and you're working in a franchise where you're working in a franchise where there's really no through line. You know, you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want with each entry. You just kind of got to follow a loose format. I think another VHS flick is definitely gonna come at some point. And why not? They're like not that hard to make or anything. They're cheap. You just get some crazy horror directors. Why the fuck not? Manifest, I'm glad you asked. I'm doing a big video on All Hallows Eve soon for channel members. And I love it. I really think it's a lot of fun. I don't think it's as good as any of the Terrifier flicks, though. I will say that. It's got one segment in particular that I don't necessarily care for with the alien. But I don't know. I think it's a really fun movie, though, and we get to see some more Art the Clown action, which is great. And I love me some clown action, let me tell you. Whew! Zooey mama. Gangster Bro is saying, I don't think we'll see Pale Girl or Vicky. I think we'll see their true form. We might just see that, though. We might. I'm thinking we might see a bunch of different forms of the character. Let's just say that. That's all I'll say for now. For the love of rock, is saying, as far as a 2024 horror movie with the most fun, best characters, I go with Abigail. Ooh, okay, rock on. Abigail had some excellent characters, dude. That was definitely up there for me. I loved the way they introduced everybody with that one big scene where Melissa Barrera is kind of just going through the pack. I thought that was so well written, very snappy, so some good dialogue there. Guy Busick gets a lot of shit after Screams 5 and 6, but I love his writing, dude. I don't know. He always finds a way to engage me with his characters, no matter what medium he's working in, which I think is so cool. Brady Harding is saying, the whole movie was obviously depraved and fucked up, but that third act especially drained the fuck out of me. It made me feel numb, partially complimentary. That's funny. Truly some of the most evil, fucked up shit. Dude, without a doubt. Yeah, no, the third act of that was... You know what's really funny about it, Brady, is they find a way to make... There's a running gag, and that's all I'll say. A running gag throughout the entire third act of Terrifier 3 that is very funny. But it's also so fucked up. Like, there's some shit in that ending that's like, I can't believe what I just watched. Holy shit. The whole movie has that aspect to it, but I feel like they just step it up in the third act a little bit. I loved it. Like the whole movie feels like a downward spiral into hell. It's great. It's some excellent stuff there, man. Leah saying, am I the only one who thought the box cutter scene was so gross? And I loved that John Abrams from Scary Movie was in it. Yes. Dude, yeah, no, that scene in particular was great. No, let's not dive any deeper into it than that. We all know that Art the Clown's using a box cutter in this flick, though, from some of the early pictures, but yeah, let's not say anything else than that. Fucking crazy, though. What a scene. I did not expect it to go that hard. You can't watch VHS Beyond without pirating it. It's on Shudder. Shudder's like the cheapest streaming platform, dude. It's like $7 a month or something. That's nothing compared to like 20 for HBO Max. Just watch it on Shudder. Like, Shudder's a good platform to support anyways. That's crazy. Jedi Joey is saying, I love the bathroom scene. Me too. That was awesome. Shower sequence was disgusting. You know, something else that's underrated about this movie is there's a lot of piss. And I don't think that's spoiling anything. There's a lot of piss in this movie. We had a conversation earlier where we were couple streams, like many streams ago, where we were talking about, like, is there poop in Terrifier 3? I don't know if I can say anything about that, but what I can say is there's a lot of piss in this movie. There are disgusting bodily fluids, and that makes me very happy. How does that all come? How does that all come about? Well, go see the movie and find out. Shudder doesn't exist where I live. Like, do you just not have like a way to watch it through there? Because I think you can rent the movie on like Amazon Prime or something too, man. Just don't pirate movies, man. That sucks. Like, I'm friends with some of the people that make those flicks in particular, and that hurts them, dude. That hurts your chances of getting another VHS flick in the future too if you pirate it. So, if you can rent it on Amazon Prime, if you can't get it on Shudder, do it there. Just, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of things to skimp out on with money. I get that. Trust me. This fucking economy, Jesus Christ. But movies and stuff, that's not something to cut corners with, personally. I think that sucks. I thought the nut shot and Shard take my V card was the grossest parts. I like the way you worked around the spoilers there. You know, I appreciate that. Yes, some upsetting stuff for sure. Great all around. Again, my favorite kill is one of the last ones we get towards the end, which I've noticed going back and watching Terrifier 2, and now 3. There's always like a final kill that feels like it's so fucking epic in all 3 of these movies. And I think they, if there's anything they topped in Terrifier 3, like I'm 100% confident in, they definitely topped like the last big kill of the movie here in Terrifier 3. The last one, the last big one we get is so fucking crazy. It's one of my favorite. It's my 3rd favorite kill in the whole franchise. Like, I'm gonna be real. I loved the shower scene. That was awesome. But this last kill we get in Terrifier 3 it's so upsetting. It's so creative. I loved every second of it. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that was so good. that was so awesome. So I don't know, man. There was a lot of good stuff in this movie, but that one took me by surprise. And I think, we were talking about this earlier about how the shower scene was being hyped up. Damien Leone even posted on Twitter something like, it's a mix between Scarface and Psycho. We knew that this one was going to be something special. So I think going into it, like I leaned over to my girlfriend at one point too, and I was just like, here it is. This is the scene. This is going to be the big upsetting scene from the movie. And it was. It's upsetting. It's gross. It's gory. It's awesome. But the scene that really surprised me and shocked me the most was that one at the end. Like, there's just something right there that's like, fucking hell, dude. What? Oh my God. I no preparation for that one at all. It sucker punches you real bad. It's awesome though. Did they make we can talk about that. That's not a movie ruining spoiler or anything. But yeah, there is a scene, there's a song that plays during the shower scene that is very goofy. And I believe, yes, they did make it. Is it on Spotify? I don't know about that, but they had to have made that. Like, there's no way they didn't make that one. And when you hear it, you'll know. You'll know what me and Oki here are talking about. But yeah, there's no way. Bill Cipher Fan 300 YouTube is saying, I saw the movie. It was pretty cool. Hell yeah, dog. I'm glad you liked it. Glad you had a good time with it. I had a great time with Terrifier 3. So much fun. Jake, has there ever been a horror movie kill scene that made you laugh out loud? Oh yeah. Terrifier 2 and 3, dude. Oh my God. These movies make me... I was so fucking loud in the theater too. My girlfriend likes to tell me that my voice really carries, and she's like, dude, you were so fucking loud in the theater. And I'm like, I couldn't help it. I was just cracking up during the Santa scene of this movie in particular. I was so loud, and I apologize to the other people of the theater who were honestly, admittedly, laughing alongside me, but I was like losing my fucking mind, dude. Oh my God. Dylan from Splattercast, I kept looking over at me like, why did I take this fucking guy? what was I doing taking this fucking guy here? That's crazy. But no, I had such a good time with this movie. I was belly laughing. I had such a good time. I know Terrifier 3 is setting up T4, but I feel like I left with barely any answers to Art's origin story or motive. So what I will say, Riv Go Crazy, is there are 2 disconnected scenes that I feel when you put them together pretty much spell out what Art's backstory is. Again, it's nothing that I feel is completely fleshed out, but it's there. It's there, and that's clearly where we're going, is what I'll say. And all I'm going to say is demolition workers and Jonathan. Like, if you put those scenes together, we can kind of spell out what's happening here, which I think is cool. So I'm very down for that. I'm very, very down to see where all that goes. I want to talk about it so bad, but I gotta wait till Monday. Ugh! I'm so impatient. I just want to get into it. Oki Reviews is saying no spoilers again, but in a kill scene, Art fucks someone up for like 20 seconds, and just like the alley kill, they open their eyes still alive. Yeah, that does happen, and it's awesome. Need your opinion from the critic side of you. I just couldn't get into Terrifier 1 due to the lack of story and character development, so I never watched Terrifier 2. Do you think I should revisit? If that's your problem with Terrifier 1, you will love Terrifier 2, because they actually implement a story with with the final girl character. To me, my thing about Terrifier 1 is I like it, I enjoy it, I've really come to love it over the years, but the moment that Tara gets shot in the face, the movie loses all of its momentum, and all of it was riding on that character, and they try to do this thing where they like swap final girls, but the problem is you don't know anything about Victoria Hayes by the time she becomes the focus of the film, so it doesn't really work. Terrifier 1 is much more about showcasing Art the Clown being like, You guys like this? You guys want more of this? We'll do more of this. Just give us more money. I mean, that is what that film is saying. There's no way to work around it besides that. But you should absolutely watch Terrifier 2 because it really does. Terrifier 2 is like the first movie. That is like the start of the story. Terrifier 1 is just to establish Art the Clown is a bad guy. That is all it's doing, and that's okay. That is all you're going to get from that film. Terrifier 2, that is the start. That is the beginning of the Terrifier story, personally. So if that was your problem with Terrifier 1, I guarantee you will like the second much more. The sequel will be better. Ty Lee throwing $2 out there. Dude, thank you again for the support. Saying Terrifier 4 should be a demonic possession and body horror. I want to talk about that so bad, Ty, but I can't. Yes. yes, and yes. What I will say is we're clearly getting into more of the angels and demons shit that has been prevalent in a lot of these movies. That's going to be even more front and center here in Terrifier 4. I can already tell. I'm excited to find out how we're gonna really implement that into this, like where we're going in particular with the fourth movie story. But yeah, I think you're onto something there. We have an end goal here in mind now, and again, I'm working around these spoilers. But yeah, I definitely think you're gonna see a lot of that in the next movie for sure. Ty, I'll be able to talk more about this in 2 days. I will come back to this super chat in 2 days because I want to bounce on this. I want to pounce on this like I'm a fucking tiger. I really do, but I can't because some folks out there haven't seen it yet, Ty. It's tough. These times are tough, Ty. No, I love it though, man. Great theories all around. Thank you for the $2, man. The variety reel has a theory as to Allie and similar deaths like that and the person still being conscious. I think Art, since demonic, can manipulate and use his victims' bodies. You know, variety reel, something I've talked about before. I did a whole video talking about the shower scene and why I think it's going to be the bedrooms kill of Terrifier 3, why I think that. And the biggest thing for me is there's always a character in question who gets killed that is very much so like has some effect on Art the Clown previously. And we saw that in Terrifier 3, but it is done differently than Terrifiers 1 and 2. But for example, in Terrifier 1, Dawn goes and sits on the fucking guy's lap and takes a bunch of selfies with him, right? Then after Art the Clown saws her in half, he takes a selfie with her. It's kind of like a fuck you, you know? Like, stop with the selfies. I don't want my selfie taken kind of thing, right? Then in Terrifier 2, Allie, you know, same thing. Throws the candy in his face, being like, get the fuck out of here, you weirdo. You know what I mean? And then Art retaliates. There's that aspect to it. I think this could be a part of it too, where it's almost like he's like angry at these people. You know, he feels some sort of way towards these characters. So yeah, maybe he does manipulate that aspect of them and like keeps them awake, keeps them conscious for as long as physically possible, to essentially torture them. And they put a new spin on that here in Terrifier 3 again, which is another reason why I love the shower scene. But I can't get into it more than that, unfortunately, because it would be spoiling stuff. But I really liked it. I really enjoyed what they were able to do with that sequence in particular. It's definitely a standout for the third film. There's a party going on in my house. Like, there are people cracking up downstairs. I kind of want to investigate a little bit. I don't know what is going on, but if you guys hear some crazy laughter and screaming and shit, I don't know what's going on. Maybe Art the Clown's here. Maybe Arthur Claus has just came in and has some presents to give out. Manifest is saying Terrifier should definitely keep its Jason Voorhees slasher identity still. Yeah, and I totally hear what you're saying there. Like, it's a very fun slasher. It's very, you know, it's very goofy with a lot of its sequences and kill scenes. But it also has like this Saw element where I feel like each chapter is kind of like another scene in a long running soap opera kind of thing, which I like personally. I know some people are like, I just don't, you know, it's so cheesy that Saw does that. I love it. I personally, I can't get enough of it. It's like watching like the best TV show ever. I don't know. There's something about that I love with Saw. Terrifier is starting to step into that, especially with this third entry, and I can't wait to see what comes next. So I love the Jason Voorhees, you know, like fun feeling slasher element that it has, but it's also got that Saw storyline feel that I don't know. It's a really good mix. It's a really fun mixture that just keeps me coming back for more. The haters weren't lying when they said we're going to hell for liking this shit. No arguments there. Did you see they are making a Terrifier game? Yes, I'm gonna play it on the gaming channel. We were talking a little bit about that earlier. It's like an arcade style, like, I don't know if it's like, I actually don't. I haven't seen too much about it. Podcast Now, shout out to him, sent me a link to the trailer for that though, so I got to look into that for sure. Oh, here's what's going on. I'm having fun with the list. Basically, me, Canyon, and Wendigoon put out a video giving their picks for horror movies every day of October. Oh, that's dope. I haven't seen that. For example, I just finished Martyrs. It's really fun. Martyrs is something, all right. It is a brutal horror flick. Hello. Did you just get back?
Yeah, me and Brittany were downstairs. We were talking to your parents.
Oh, for real? Okay, I heard crazy laughter downstairs, and I'm like, what? There's a party happening downstairs. What is happening? Crazy stuff. But I'm glad you're here. Welcome back. Welcome back to the stream. We're talking Terrifier 3. What did you think about the film? You saw it with me.
It was good.
Madison says it was good. That's all you got? Nothing else?
I'm not gonna put it in my top 3 favorite movies. It was good though.
She says not a top 3 favorite movie, but it was good though. Okay. All right. Hey, that's fair. Did you like it better than My Sister's Keeper?
No.
No, she did not like it better than that film.
Movies that make me cry.
She likes movies that makes her cry. If you can't hear that, yes, we've learned this, which is very funny. I like movies that gross me the fuck out, and Madison likes movies that make her cry. So we found a movie that kind of satisfies both for us, which is very much so My Sister's Keeper, because it's almost like body horror, but in like it is. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. I am. Oh no, I'll die on that hill.
It's gory.
It's body horror though, because they're taking the fucking organs and shit out of the one girl and giving it to the sister. That's body horror.
That's the true form of body horror.
Yeah.
Came from My Sister's
Yes.
Keeper.
It is a body horror drama. That is what that movie is, and I love it. It's very well done. It's got Jason Patrick from Terrifier 3 in it. 10 out of 10 movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. But it scratched an itch that both of us like about movies together, which was awesome. So but I'm glad we watched that before Terrifier 3 because it features Jason Patrick though.
It's what gave you the idea that he was going to be the father.
And yes, it also was the movie that kind of solidified my theory that I'm like, he's totally playing Sienna's dad because of this role in My Sister's Keeper. So if you honestly, I can't even believe I'm saying this, but if you want a good companion piece to Terrifier 3 that hits on that, you know, with some similar cast members and stuff, a totally different film in terms of what it's going for, watch that movie. It's really good. Like it's not a horror movie at all, but it's a very good drama that I feel has some horror elements to it. I don't know. I really enjoyed My Sister's Keeper. I thought it was really cool. I cried. I did. Tears coming down my face. Variety Reel is saying Allie's death especially had me come up with manipulation theory because Allie was literally unconscious and then she randomly wakes up while Art points and laughs as if he is controlling her. Yeah, and you know, they do use a dummy at the end of that sequence, which I think aids to your theory there. I do like that a lot. And again, we saw that here in Terrifier 3, which I won't say anymore. I can't say any more than that, but God, I want to. Ugh! Show up Monday for me to finally explode with spoilers and all my crazy theories for what's to come. Grumpy Gorehound is saying, I completely respect avoiding spoilers, but I've been looking for them and keep finding teasers whipped up for obvious view counts. It's maddening. Definitely looking forward to your Monday stream. Yeah. Yeah. I saw a review the other day for the movie that, I mean, in the thumbnail, in the fucking thumbnail, someone wrote out a spoiler, and I'm just like, dude, come on, man. It had like 10,000 views, so I mean, they got the views, I guess. I guess that's the goal, but kind of just sucks. It feels like just shows me that certain channels out there are a little not trustworthy, which makes me sad. Hokey is saying with Jake being bald, it looks like his headset is a small pan and his head is a big egg. That's so funny. I feel like, you know, you're just going to crack this open and a yolk's going to come out, right? That's so funny. It looks like I got little pans, you know, on the side there, you know, just frying it up. By the end of the stream, we'll have a fully cooked egg. Dear God. Danielle is hanging out with us as well. What's up, dog? Did you watch Terrifier 3 in the theaters? I sure did. You haven't still. Have to wait until it comes out online. Gotcha. But it's okay. You can spoil it. I won't spoil it on this stream, but I will on Monday. I gotta stop shamelessly plugging that. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, no spoilers here. You got spoiled earlier from a video title, major spoiler as well. Yeah, that sucks, man. I think that's a bummer. This is not one you want to be spoiled for sure. Bro looks like the internet's busiest music nerd. Dude, I cut a joke out of my review where I was like, I was talking about the Ice 9 Kills video, but like it just didn't really relate to the video as a whole. But I literally at the end I was like, God, I got to start reviewing music now. I got the look for it, and I ripped the beanie off and everything. But I'm just like, it kind of just takes away from a lot of the points I was trying to make about the film itself. But I might make a full video on the Ice 9 Kills music video, because it's basically a Terrifier short film. Like it's basically what it is, and it's awesome. It's great. But that's very funny, Manifest. I love it. How was it, Jake? Is it good? Rate it 10 out of 10. So in all fairness, I loved Terrifier 3. It is so much fun. It is an excellent sequel. I gave it a 9 out of 10 though. It's a 9 out of 10. It's solid. It's fucking awesome, but I do have one little tiny issue with it that I can't believe they didn't show to us. That's all I'm going to say. There's a scene that was done off screen that it's almost disrespectful. It's like, what? What the fuck? Like, why is that off screen? That's crazy. But besides that, I pretty much loved everything else about Terrifier 3. Dude, it delivers on the gore. The characters are great. Some of the best performances, especially from Samantha Scafidi and Lauren Lavera. They were fucking amazing in this movie. Definitely my favorite performances. David Howard Thornton also brings it as Art the Clown again, which is awesome. And dude, I mean, some of the sequences in this are some of my favorite Terrifier scenes ever. The Santa scene is so funny. The shower scene is great. And there's one of my favorite Art the Clown kills of all time in this flick, which is awesome. So I really, this is my favorite slasher franchise ever. I'm not afraid to wear that on my sleeve. It's so much fun. It's so gory. It's everything I could possibly want from a horror flick. It's so funny. It's so gory. It's everything I could want. And second, Jake, did you see the Ice 9 Kills video? Yes, I did. It's great. It's a good song too. Like genuinely, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if I'm crazy about every Ice 9 Kills song, but that one really did it for me. I was like, wow, there's a good hook in there too. I don't know. It's a killer song. It's got a crazy fucking breakdown too, which is so funny. There's like a carnival breakdown where Art the Clown's like playing a bunch of different instruments and stuff in the music video. Very funny. Some great stuff in there. So Jake, are you saying Terrifier 3 is better than all the Scream films? Because I'm pretty sure I don't remember you saying any Scream film is a 10 out of 10. The first one's a 10 out of 10 for me, but none of the sequels are, which is, I don't know, maybe that's a hot take, but the sequels, all of them have a big problem. Like all of them have like a big issue about them, which I like all the sequels. I do. They're very fun films, but they're just, they get a little sloppy as most of them in their third acts. But the Scream franchise, just like Terrifier, just like Evil Dead, I'll go on record to say all of these franchises are crazy consistent. Like, I mean, I love all 6 of the Scream films. I love all 5 of the Evil Dead movies. I love all 3 of the Terrifier flicks. These are the most consistent horror franchises we have, in my opinion. I don't think anything like that's the top 3, in my opinion. Nothing tops these flicks in terms of quality. I don't know. I really like, there's a lot of other horror franchises I adore, like the Friday the 13th movies, but there's some stinkers in there, man. Friday Part 9, yikes. Jason Takes Manhattan, oh my God. Part 3, which we just watched. Part 3 is rough, man. But I still love these. It's not that I don't like these franchises, but I just really value the consistency of something like Scream, something like Evil Dead or Terrifier. That's really special to me. And you don't see that a lot of the times. And in Terrifier, there's an argument to be made that each film tops the previous one. You can't really say that about Scream or Evil Dead, dude. That's fucking nuts. Like there's something really special about Terrifier, which is probably why it's one of my all-time favorites. I don't know. We're witnessing horror history here, no matter what you think of the flicks, without a doubt. Kind of undeniable at that point. I love that I'm getting roasted in the chat right now. This is so funny. Jake, you look like a math teacher with a green shirt that gets angry when you get a question wrong. That is so specific. I feel like you had a bad experience with a math teacher with a green shirt. That's what I'm taking away from this, Riley. But it's very funny, nonetheless. I love it. I wanted to be a teacher, believe it or not. I went to college for almost 2 years to be a teacher. So, you know this. Don't say, huh? I went to school for 2 years to be a teacher. I was going to be dead serious. I was going to be an English teacher. Yeah.
Why?
I wanted to be a teacher. I felt like I could do well there. I had a lot, and sorry, sidetrack, but I had a lot of bad experiences with teachers, and I'm like, I could do that better. Fuck you, fuck y'all. So that's, I don't know. Anyways, moving forward. Did Terrifier 3 make me cum honey? Not quite, but it did make me cum blood. So I think that's pretty good. Isn't there a Cannibal Corpse song called Cum Blood or something? That's a thing. Maybe. I don't know. Fact check me on that. I maybe I'm wrong.
I don't want to.
you don't want to? Just, yeah, put that in the search bar, see what happens. Albany Saratoga Media Collector, thanks for being here, dog. Saying, sorry I missed the last episode, but here tonight. Thank you so much. I left a message on a few videos back. Only way I can contact you is email. I tried Facebook, but seems you have not been on that in ages. I have not. I'm so sorry. I will try. I'll get on that, though. I'll see what message you sent me. Dude, it's been nonstop. I'm not kidding. An hour before the stream, Madison and I had to rework my entire week's schedule because of some shit that we just found out about. But it's, dude, I'm just crazy busy right now, but I promise once the spooky season is over, I'm going to start responding to some messages and stuff. Really want to connect with you guys as much as I can. I just have not had time. It's crazy shit, but thank you for being here now, Albany Saratoga Media Collector. I appreciate the heck out of you, dog. It's always nice seeing you in the streams. Scott Royston talking about Friday, saying 3 was just okay. Jason Lives in Part 2 are the two best. I love those two. Those are so much fun. Typically, when I rewatch these movies, I'll watch like 2, I'll watch 4, Jason Lives, the remake. I love the remake. That might be my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. The remake does it for me, except for the one scene where where the dude cheats on his girlfriend and he just keeps saying the goofiest shit. Like there's a part of that where he's just like, babe, your tits are stupendous, and I'm like, that is the worst line of dialogue of all time. Like, what do you mean? Horrible. Like 0 out of 10, but the rest of that movie's great besides that one scene. And Marley Kai can confirm that Cum Blood is a real song. Thank you for searching that up for us. Thank you for making that sacrifice in your search history, my friend. You did that for us, and that doesn't go unnoticed, I hope you know. Oh my god. Gangster Bro is saying Terrifier 3 was easily the most depraved. The victims felt like real people and you liked them. And this is very true. Again, I really did appreciate the fact that this movie's like every performance pretty much across the board was definitely the best from the whole franchise, without a doubt. There's, in the past there have been some odd performances. The cat lady in Terrifier 1 was, it makes me laugh every single time. What's the fucking line? Oh, well, I can't remember it. Punctuality is the thief of time, my dear. That is the craziest fuck. Like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know, but it's so funny. There's been some weird shit in the past couple of Terrifier movies, but in this film, all the performances felt very spot on, very realistic, and I could really get into a lot of the characters for that reason. So we can see Damien getting sharper as a writer. That was a big note I had in my review. I really appreciated that. Again, it just adds to the whole, we're building in quality with each Terrifier film. That's so important. And Oki Reviews is saying, line from Friday the 13th, 2009, your nipple placement is perfect, baby. Yep, from the same scene. And dude, it gets worse. There's another scene that I won't even say on YouTube. It's so ridiculous, but he says something like, oh, I got 8 seconds left or some crazy. Yeah. You know where I'm going with that. Oh my God. So bad. I mean, what the whole movie I feel like is pretty well written, but you get to that shit, you're just like, what? What are you saying, dog? Albany Saratoga is saying, I can't get into Ice Nine, being as I played in bands for years and seen many shows performed. Many it's just not for me, but you do come blood. Okay. You know what? Rock on, dog. Rock on. I'll be honest, I really do like a lot of Ice Nine kills. Again, maybe not my favorite band of all time, but I do really like a lot of their music. And I also love that they're leaning into the horror genre so much. They're a celebrated band in the horror community, and that makes me very happy. I love that. I love that they're able to do that. And I also, I brought this up before. It's been a long time since I talked about it, but I love the fact that they were able to do a whole album where it's inspired off of horror movies. Dude, I have a notebook from high school where I wrote out song titles Like, and all of them were based on horror movies. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to make this album one day. Like, that's going to be an original idea from me and me alone. And of course, Ice Nine Kills got to that before I did. But I love it. I'm very happy that exists. That's out there. It's very cool. And a lot of it's good, man. And again, I can't stress this enough. The Terrifier song, like the work of art song, it's good. Like, it's actually, it's one of my favorites from them, if I'm being real. And I was like, ooh, it's got a really good hook to it. It's very catchy. I'm still thinking about it. Tongue-tied and you're terrified. It's like that gets in your head. It's good stuff. I like it. Call me fucking Anthony Fantano over here. Goddamn. Not Rock of these would win in a also from Friday the remake, for those who are like, what did Scott just say? Jesus Christ. When am I going to do a live stream on GullGotha? Dude, I know I said like last week it was going to happen. It's coming soon, I promise. But let me get through busy season, and then we'll talk about live streams over there. I gotta get through October. I got some crazy shit planned, and still working on a lot of stuff that I want to do this month. There's a short film in the works that I've been working on since April. It's done. I want to make sure everything's good with it so that I can post it later this month. I really want to have that out in October, and just a lot of work's going on behind the scenes with that one. And also I'm going to Scarefest next weekend, so I got a whole weekend that's just going to be, kind of like doing Scarefest stuff. I'm preparing for that all week too. It's a lot. So let me get through busy season, and then Dog in November will be streaming there pretty much every week. It's going to be awesome. So just give me some time. We're getting there. Rick Garcia, what's up, Rick? How's it going? We'll be seeing it again this week sometime. Good. I'm going again this weekend so that hopefully it can, break some fucking records and shit. Beat out Joker 2. That'd be so cool. It's already projected to do double what Joker 2 is going to do this weekend, which is awesome. But I hope Terrifier 3, it goes to the fucking moon, man. That would be so awesome. I would love to see Damien have even more creative control over the property moving into the next one. That'd be awesome. I think I'm going to be honest, I think Terrifier 4 needs to be even longer than Terrifier 2, considering where we're at. So I really think moving forward, we got to allow Damien to do a longer movie for sure. So I'm excited to see what happens next, but I'm hoping that's part of it. Danielle is saying, so what am I going to do when Terrifier 3 comes out online is watch All Hallows Eve, Terrifier, and Terrifier 2. That's good, right, Jake? Yes, watch all those movies. They're all good, too. I mean, they're all worth a watch, I think, for sure. You're going to find some stuff on Tubi that's like bottom of the barrel, you know what I mean? And I just feel like all these movies are like, especially All Hallows Eve and the first Terrifier, they're like really good Tubi movies. That's how I look at them. I love them. Like, they're a lot of fun. I just got this in the mail, too. I've been wanting to own a copy of this for so long, and I finally picked it up. I'm excited to do a little bit of content on this week too, which is going to be fun. But yeah, I love All Hallows Eve. It's a really fun movie. Again, don't expect perfection or anything, but it's fun. It's a really goofy, really goofy, over the top movie. Gangster Bro is saying Art the Clown is now mortal, and so Sienna will have to go to and fight the demon. Okay, well, we can't talk about that quite yet. I missed that. But we'll talk more about that Monday. Terrifier 4 should be 3 hours. I second that IDK 100%. And I appreciate Erica telling everybody to subscribe. Make sure to do that if you want. Would be cool. Chrissy, what's up, Chrissy? How you doing? Saying I wasn't expecting Terrifier 3 to be realistic because that would be hypocritical to every scene thus far. It's still supernatural, of course, but I feel like the characters are very grounded and down to earth. I think that's more what we were talking about a second ago. It still isn't true to life with the violence or the events within it. That wouldn't be fun, though. I think Wes Craven even has a line about that, saying, like, I'm not trying to make realistic movies, I'm trying to make horror flicks. Or, I'm totally paraphrasing him there, but there's a quote that has that same message, right? We have to exaggerate a little bit in order to tell our stories, to go to places that you wouldn't find in reality. I feel like that makes horror movies more it makes them more attractive. It's like you can find something in a film that you could never find in real life. And that to me is that's what I'm looking for when I put something on. I don't want to see exactly what I could just go outside and do, I think that's why I'm looking for movies like Terrifier or like The Fly, for instance. I love The Fly. That's something you wouldn't find in real life, but I'm so invested in movies like that because it's something you can't see here in real life. Yet it is still so grounded, a lot of these stories I'm talking about. It's almost like a reflection of real life, but being able to take it to some supernatural and over the top places to tell human stories. Those are the kind of movies that I feel I'm the most into. And that's what Terrifier does so well. And look at this fucking hater here. God damn. Madison Kazmarski. What a dumb last name. Saying, please remember to hit that dislike button. Why is there's a C in there? What a dumb last name. Damn. Yeah. What is it? Kazmarski? Shit, she's throwing shit at me. God damn. It's getting brutal in here. What's going on? It's okay. You can only do so much. Besides, I should be seeing it very soon. I hope you see it soon, my friend. Hope you have a good time. What else do we got going on? Remember to send hitmen to Jake's house. You know, maybe don't. Maybe don't on that one. But shit. Rivko Crazy is saying I definitely have to watch it again to have an official opinion. You know, that's where I want to end this stream, man. I need to see this movie again because I really do. I loved it after the first watch, but there are some things where I'm like, did that work? You know, I'm going back and revisiting it, playing it back in my brain, and I'm like, I don't know if everything about that 100% worked for me, and I'm excited to see it again to really clear that out, to really polish over these things and see what else is happening there. But oh my God, Albany Saratoga Media Collector, thank you for the $20, man, killing it. One of the biggest super chat of the night. Thank you. Saying Nightmare on Elm Street box set ? I have the DVD box set, but I think there's a Blu-ray box set. Is there a 4K? Is there a 4K box set like of all the movies? I hope so. Friday the 13th hitting 4K in silent. I know the remake just got a 4K release. I want to say there's 4Ks of the others. I'm not sure, but I got the Blu-ray one, which is dope. We've been watching those lately, which are I love those movies. Those are fun. You hear about these? Yes, I have seen the remake 4K, which I might pick up. But dude, I bought that movie twice now. Or actually, no, I bought that movie 3 times now because I had a DVD, I had a Blu-ray, and then I bought the fucking box set. So I'm like, I can't justify buying that movie again. Like, I genuinely can't. But I really want that 4K. It's a really cool release. If you guys have not heard of it, it looks awesome. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Well, you know, thank you. Thank you for not being a hater like someone else in the room. God. I appreciate you, Albany. Thank you so much, dog. And yes, I want to get a lot of these releases. My latest pickup, I just pre-ordered the 4K of Trick or Treat, which like that's a must for me. That's one of my favorite horror movies from like the 2000s. I mean, so much fun. I'm so glad to have that on 4K, and just in time for Halloween. It's coming right at the end of the month. What are you doing? I'm scared, ladies and gentlemen, for my health and safety. But no, I'm kidding. Albany, thank you for the $20 though, man. Really do appreciate that. And yeah, I definitely need to get a better box set of the Nightmare movies. I would love to have that on just something a little better than DVD for sure. I picked it up at like a secondhand store because I found it. It was like $20 or something. I'm like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Oh, but it's going to be a 3-pack of Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason? No way! Oh, all on 4K? I would totally pick that up. And Nightmare box set is said to be coming too. Trick or Treat has the slip. Okay, I got to look into this a little more. I want to be looking at physical media, but I am like, I can't right now. I went a little too crazy with some pickups on my birthday. So now I'm like, okay, I gotta stop with the physical media for a little while. But I might have to pick up the Nightmare one. That's awesome. And the 3-pack of that's awesome. Of the Friday movies, that's great. Dude, I still haven't gotten the 4K set of the last couple Halloween movies or whatever that they did, like Halloween 6, H2O, and Resurrection. I can't. That's another one where I'm like, I can't justify spending that much money on 2 bad movies and 1 really good Halloween movie. I want H2O on 4K so bad, but I don't know if I care that much about 6 and Resurrection. But I would love to have that on the shelf too. I actually don't own 6 or Resurrection just on any format, so I would love to complete the Halloween franchise before I do this, because I don't even own some of the movies, man. It's a problem. It's genuinely a problem. So I want to get that box set at some point. And Manifest, this is actually a great question, which will actually end the stream on this one. Is 4K worth it? I mainly collect DVDs because of how easy they are to get at thrift stores. Dude, it entirely depends. Entirely depends. If you get one where it actually has a good 4K scan, yes, 100%. The new Halloween 4K scan looks awesome. Like it's amazing. It's the best way to watch the film, in my opinion. But then there's like 4K scans. Like I believe the Terminator 2 scan is really bad for the 4K. Like avoid it like the plague. Don't even buy it. But like, yeah, some of them are really bad. Some of them are great. You know, you kind of just gotta, like, what I do is I research it before I even go out and buy it. Cause like, it's a lot of money. I mean, a lot of 4Ks are like 30, 40, sometimes like $50 for something. And especially if you get the Steelbook, you know, it's really only worth it if like, you know, the scan's going to be good. I would look up reviews beforehand. I rarely pre-order shit. Like this trick or treat thing is a very rare thing for me. I usually wait a little while until like there's some reviews that are out about them. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely depends. Some are fucking awesome. Some of them just not so much. Again, do the research. Nice burp. Do the research. Look up just reviews of the product. See what people have to say about it. There are some like physical media nerds on here, which I love and respect. I'm one of them. So like, if you think I'm talking down to them, no, I'm. Listen, you see this fucking shelf back here, dog? Trust me, I'm one of them. Watch some of those videos. I highly recommend that, and you'll hear what people have to say about them. It's like, oh, okay, rock on, let's do it. But there's nothing wrong with collecting DVDs either. I still do too. I just fucking picked up a DVD. Some movies I don't care about having on 4K. I'm gonna be real. Some I'm just like, I'll just get the DVD of that. Why not? Or the Blu-ray, whatever. So nothing wrong with either thing for sure. It's good just to own movies. Physical media is just good in general. That's what I'll say. 2 things for the weekend. Buy physical media. Go see Terrifier 3. There you go. I'll leave you with that. Come on by over on Monday, 7 o'clock. We will get into spoilers for Terrifier 3. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stop on by. And again, I got a horror hot takes video for the first Terrifier coming out tomorrow for patrons, which is going to be fun. I got a Terrifier 4 video coming in the week, and I might just have an early Smile 2 review coming as well. So, holy shit, a lot of fun stuff on the way, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight on tonight's stream. Again, we will be live again on Monday. And as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all. Stay safe, everybody. Much love.